So the adventure starts with you all gathered outside of the Witchlight Carnival. The first stars of night twinkle above the apricot sunset. Giant butterfly or dragonflies whir overhead, trailing streamers behind them, and a low mist curls over the ground. Through a floral archway you glimpse wondrous and vibrant creatures, elf walkers, dancing fairies, and painted performers. Everywhere there's laughter, pixie dust, bubbles, and the wistful tune of a whistling calliope. So now we're going to flash back a little bit and kind of go back over how you all ended up here. Um, we'll start with Big Blue. So go ahead and give a character intro, and then we'll kind of go back over your character background.
Sure. Big Blue is well, not big or blue. It's a nickname picked up. Hopefully we can explore that as we go. But so basically is a fairy, and kind of was at the carnival and kind of got left here on the opposite side when the carnival moved on many, many years ago. So, as he kind of grew up here in the non-Fey Wild, but having been pulled through with the carnival. So as a young one, he was part of the carnival. So that's Big Blue.
All right, and Big Blue, I'm going to have to retrim some of this because the warlock background isn't AL exactly. So I'm going to get you a lost thing eventually. But first you get here because of the warlock background. So what happened there was you were summoned to the abode of a human warlock named Madrick Rosloff. He lived in a giant pumpkin farm. He shared his rustic farmhouse with rodents and pixies, and his adventuring days were way, way behind him. He looks quite old and frail. Nevertheless, he's delighted to make your acquaintance. And I'm going to drag a picture of him out here for you so you can see what he looks like. This is the warlock Madrick. Picture of him right there.
Mm-hmm.
He is old.
So he spoke to you kind of in a kind of a gaspy, old voice. He says, I've acquired many treasures and made important contacts during my lengthy adventuring career. And you, Big Blue, I would like to pass that treasure on to you if you can do me a favor. I ask you to travel to Prismere. It's a domain in the Feywild. Maybe you've heard of it. Find out what fate has befallen the Archfey that rules there. This Archfey is Zybilna. She is my patron and inspiration and the source of my power, but I've been unable to contact her now for the better part of a year, and I fear something terrible has happened. Since my adventuring days are long over, and since Zybilna has been so good to me, I would like to know she is well before I take my leave. You see, every 8 years, our world is visited by a traveling extravaganza called the Witchlight Carnival. You know it. You were part of it once long ago, or at least visited it. It recently returned and is camped 3 days' travel from here. I'm asking you now because this carnival might pack up and leave in a week or two, and it contains your only route to the domain of Prismere, a Fey crossing, if you will. Seek out Zybilna of Prismere, help her if you can, and return with proof that she is alive and well, and upon your return, all the hard-won earnings of my adventuring career shall be yours. What do you say, Big Blue? Can you help?
Absolutely. I'm your fairy.
All the fairies,
I'm your fairy.
all the fairies flirting around, kind of clap and laugh and twitter up into the air. Madrick, he says, do you have any questions for me before you go?
Is there anybody to... No, you talking to me?
Yeah, Big Blue.
Oh, is there anybody to talk to at all at the carnival? Do you remember? Is there any clues? I mean, I've been searching my whole life for a gateway back, and I haven't found one. So, how do I know I found it?
Well, I haven't visited the carnival myself in 64 years now.
Oh, my.
So you'll have to explore it carefully and thoroughly. Um, Sibylna is a fairy godmother to mortals. She created the carnival as a gate to her realm, so there's got to be a gate there somewhere. I just don't know what it will look like.
Okay. Well, I'm your man, your fairy. So
64 years ago, the carnival was run by a pair of Shatterkai. Those are elves from the Shadowfell. And their names were Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. I dimly recall that Witch and Light acquired the carnival about 100 years ago from an Eladrin. Any other questions before you go?
I'm sure I'll get there and still have questions, but I guess it'll be too late.
Okay, now one of you was also the Warlock quest. Double check who that was. I think it might be Josh. I'm scared it is. So when Josh gets back, I'll double check and see if he has any questions for Madrick. So now, let's do an introduction for Portia. Go ahead, Portia.
Okay, sure. So Portia appears to be a somewhat tall human with very kind of olive-colored skin. She's got a very thick, curly hair that she keeps pulled back in a long ponytail. She's wearing fine clothes that are made of silks, including a veil that she kind of keeps draped over her head, and a variety of jewelry. Very kind of stone-faced, and she's been with the carnival for a number of years now, apprenticing as a fortune teller under the previous fortune teller who has recently retired, and she's kind of taken over that position within the carnival.
So that's right. And you had a auspicious meeting with the dragon a few days ago. A friendly fairy dragon in the service of a human warlock named Madrick Rosloff. This fairy dragon foretold the arrival of adventurers seeking a path to the Feywild through the carnival. You've heard rumors that the carnival contains a Fey crossing, but you've not been able to find it. The fairy dragon thought you might want to help these adventurers, and maybe they could help you. It even went so far as to imply that your fate and the fate of the Witchlight Carnival might hinge on the success of their endeavors. As twilight draws near, a large crowd begins to gather outside, eager to buy tickets and enjoy the carnival's many attractions. And as you gaze out upon the crowd from inside the carnival, one or more visitors catch your eye. Something about them suggests they're not the usual rabble. So that's Portia. Go ahead.
It's my prescience, my presciency that's
it.
that allows me to see that.
All right, then we got Tiny. Go ahead,
Hey,
Tiny, give a
yeah,
description.
hey. So you see this sad looking fairy, 2 feet tall, strong, 5 o'clock shadow going on, no soul in his eyes. Wears this kind of like haphazard butler outfit. Cute as a button, right? He carries around a comically large battle axe, which is like a normal sized battle axe for him, looks like a great axe. But however, when he talks, it's in a rough, disgruntled voice. I've been a torture for 2 years now. Ever since my uncle hired a hag and turned me into a fucking fairy. I used to be a human, you know, big, buff, and muscles all around. Now I have wings and rainbow glitter dust appears wherever I fly. To this day, I carry a letter from him. It reads, Dear Tiny, I'm so sorry to hear what happened. Signed, Uncle Daniel. P.S. Tell my brother I say hi. P.S.S. I told the hag to make you smell like brownies. I always hated chocolate. Tiny is a first level fairy barbarian.
Nice. All right. Tiny arrives at the carnival because he feels like he's lost something. He had been there before, about 8 years before, and he has only dim memory of sneaking into the carnival as a child without paying for a ticket. And that memory has grown foggy over time, though it still conjures a weirded mixture of emotions, wonder and awe mixed with loss and regret. During this childhood visit, he lost something. He tried to find it, but the carnival owners, a pair of elves named Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, were decidedly unhelpful. Silly little screeching cricket, said Witch. You forgot to buy a ticket. The carnival goes round and round, said Light. The multiverse is our playground. Nothing's free and nothing's lost. Every visit has its cost. As time passed, your heart became less heavy, and you gave less and less thought to those childhood events. Now, for reasons you can't explain, the longing to retrieve that which you have lost has resurfaced, as though an old spell has faded away, allowing you to feel the loss as sharply as if it happened yesterday. The Witchlight Carnival has returned, and you find yourself standing near a ticket booth by the entrance at twilight, just as the carnival is about to open. There you meet others who look as troubled as you. Without knowing how or why, you sense that each of them has lost something as well. Perhaps fate has brought you together. All right. So when Josh visits us, we'll get his character. So we got Big Blue and Tiny G, a couple fairies who are flitting around the ticket booth. And we have Portia, who's inside the carnival itself, who sees these two and knows that they might be who she is there to help. Let me move you guys to the map. All right. So if you zoom out, you should see the whole of the carnival.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You guys arrive at the ticket booth. This is where you're all kind of gathered together. And so now we're back to standing outside the carnival where we started. The first stars of night twinkle above the apricot sunset. You see giant dragonflies whirring overhead, trailing streamers, and a low mist curls over the ground. Through a floral archway you glimpse wondrous and vibrant creatures, elf stilt walkers, dancing fairies, and painted performers. Everywhere there's laughter, pixie dust bubbles, and the wistful tune of a whistling calliope. So, ticket booth. So everyone's kind of waiting in line, and eventually you guys get up to the front of the ticket booth, and there's a silver statue of a dancing fairy there, mounted on the roof of the ticket booth, surrounded by fluttering butterflies. The booth is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky, with shooting stars arcing across it. You see signs there: adult tickets 8 silver pieces for 8 attractions, child tickets 3 for 8 attractions, free ticket ? Make a pay pact to get 1 free ticket. So you guys see an elderly goblin perched behind the ticket counter, peering at you quizzically through a spyglass. He lowers the spyglass and calls out to you, "Greetings, fair goers."
Hello.
And we'll start with Tiny.
All right. So it's myself and Big Blue currently.
You and Big Blue are there, yeah.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of you.
You can make it if you try.
This place is great. I loved this place as a child. 1 ticket, please.
1 ticket. What's your name?
Tiny G.
Tiny G?
If you want to shorthand it, just do a lowercase g.
Well, wait a second. He reaches down underneath the counter, and he gets an ornate wooden box out. You see it's got a silver clasp on it, and the monogram NM. And it contains 1 prepaid ticket for 1 Tiny G. He says, "Here, this is for you." An anonymous benefactor left it for you.
Thank you. Do you know who NM is?
Nope,
Or
can't
is he
say
just
I do.
Anonymous.
Could be anonymous. That's a good... I think you're right.
Okay.
And what's your name? He says to the fairy behind Tiny G.
Big Blue.
Big Blue, Big Blue. Yep,
Yeah.
1 for you too. Got a couple more here. You guys know a Jotaro or a Maynard? You don't, actually.
No.
No? All right, well, I guess I'll be watching for them still. So you two are able to get your tickets. You each get 1 ticket. You can buy more if you like. If you like to do more attractions than just 8, you can come back to the ticket booth and get more.
Okay, perfect.
Nicholas bids you have a good time. He hands over to you your ticket. In addition, he gives you a map of the carnival, which looks like the map that you're looking at here on the screen. And he gives you a pair of colorful cloth butterfly wings to wear. And then he says, well, you two might not need this, but keep it anyway. It indicates you've paid your way in.
I wear them like, you know how tourists wear backpacks in the front?
Mm-hmm.
I wear the butterfly wings on the front, facing
Okay.
forward.
Can I try and like affix them to my fairy wing so it looks like I have butterfly wings?
Sure.
Okay.
Big Blue, make an insight check for me.
I can. Insight is what?
Wisdom.
Wisdom?
Ooh, big first roll.
Oh, I have to select my token
You do.
to roll. I have the toolbar up there. Where's my token at? Maybe I have to select it.
You are right over here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you came
There
from
we
the
go.
other page, that'll happen sometime. Okay.
Okay.
You two get into the carnival, and you are met there by Portia. Portia, how do you want to introduce yourself to these two fairies that just arrived who look suspiciously like someone you were looking for?
Sure. Yeah, I will approach and do a subtle incline of my head and be like, my cards, they told me I was looking for two fairies, but I think one was supposed to be large and one small. You both seem somewhat small.
Well, yeah, we're fairies.
Am I correct?
I'm large for a small fairy.
And I'm small for a... Well, that's a long story.
We'll give. My cards are never wrong, so I am sure I am correct. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Portia the Prescient. I am the fortune teller here at the carnival. But recently I was invited to partake in a quest for one. What was it, Madrick?
Yeah, Madrick.
Yeah, for a Madrick. Is that not also true for you?
That is correct.
Well,
Madrick, never heard of him.
oh, then I guess you enjoy the carnival. Please follow me, though I don't know where I would be taking them.
So you can share
like-
with them a little bit of information about the carnival. So the carnival opens up at dusk, and it will continue on all through the night. There will be welcome gifts for the people who are just arriving, and I'm waiting until Josh gets here to do the welcome gifts. There'll be a big extravaganza at the big top about the middle of the night. So you have in between then and now to kind of explore the carnival, see what's around. You two fairies know that you're kind of both seeking something. You get that feeling. Even though you might not be seeking the same thing, your paths might be leading in the same direction. So you're kind of drawn to each other a little bit from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Portia can show you around and answer questions as you guys are kind of exploring. And you can share with Portia what you want or what you will. Let's see. So you know that.
So I just
ahead.
ask her. Can I just? I mean, like, that's not even. Let's forego all the niceties. Do you know where the gateway is into Premiere? Oh, it's not Premiere. I'm so bad with these.
Prismere.
Prismere. Like, we can just forego all this questing. Do you know where Prismere is? Have you heard of Prismere?
I have been looking myself, though I have not done a reading for it yet, but so I do not currently know. I could try.
Can you just do one right here?
Yeah, you guys can
If
kind of step
the
to the side.
DM will allow it.
Yeah, you can step to the side and do a little reading if you like.
No, and what is the reading? Is that a spell or something?
It is literally an RPing.
Oh. Well, I will give you guidance even though you're RPing because I'm definitely in. I'll
Yeah.
give you a +1 to your roleplay.
Ooh.
Roll. Play.
So, yeah, it'll be. I was trying to find before we started like randomized deck pull online.
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
that
I'm
I've been
sure you
able
can
to
find
find one yet.
You'll just have to make it up this time, but I can definitely bring a set of cards into the game, so that is the main tarot deck.
Sure. Okay, well, let's we'll sit down. Please, would both of you touch the deck for a moment and think of the place that you are trying to find?
I'm going
And
to put you guys
I'm
over
squinting
here by the
really hard.
Calliope. There we go. Get you all on the map here. All right, so this annoying Calliope is kind of rolling by as you guys are touching the Taroka deck, trying to kind of get a reading on, what's going on. You see two girls in face paint that are squabbling over a painted wooden crown that their mother won at a stall. So they're arguing as they walk by one way. The Calliope's rolling by another way. This Calliope, you see that it has, it's got merry tunes spilling forth from an instrument on the back of a brightly painted wagon. And there's a monkey back there. A monkey wearing a cloak covered with buttons all over. It's got all the flair. He turns the handle at the wagon's rear, sending music into the air from rows of golden whistles. And he's cranking along. The wagon's rolling along. Then there's a goblin that's dressed as a ladybug. And the goblin toddles on over to your little group. We're kind of looking at your cards right now. We're getting ready to do a reading. And it holds out a tin cup and rattles it. There's a couple coins in there rattling back and forth. And the monkey gets a little closer on the wagon, and it says in common, "Spare a button if you please. I'll sew it next to all of these. I offer nothing in its place besides a smile upon my face." And then the goblin shakes the tin cup again.
What do I have for equipment?
You can certainly say you pull a button off of your clothing if you have, if you want to give a button over.
I will. I mean, should I take it off of Maynard's coat? No, that'd be. Look, you joined the adventure. There's
Just to move
mysteriously
Maynard
your thing that's lost is your button. So I will take a button and donate it to the cause.
Okay. Portia, do you want to donate a button?
Yes, with a sigh, I'll be like, gosh,
You've
this
probably
is
donated
like
a
the
lot of
12th
buttons.
button. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just pull one out of my purse as if I have a little mini pocket inside the purse that's only for buttons.
And Tiny, you got a button you want to hand over?
Let's see. Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, Marigold is the goblin in the little ladybug outfit, and Marigold tries to cajole you into dancing, Tiny G. You want to dance with Marigold a little bit?
No.
No? Okay. You grimly look at her. She looks down to the ground and shuffles away, and the Calliope goes rolling on down towards the lost property wagon. Now,
Okay,
you guys are
what is
left.
the Calliope?
Yeah, the Calliope.
No, what is it? I have no
what
idea
is
what a
Calliope?
Calliope
It's
is.
just a musical, a wagon that plays music.
Oh, it has like 20 instruments
Yeah.
in it or something? Oh,
This one's got-
I picture it's like pipes.
Yeah,
you know,
this one's
like
got pipes.
gotcha. Sorry, I had no idea what one was.
Okay.
It is constantly noisy.
Okay, Portia. You are left to do your reading.
Okay. So we'll draw 3 cards. The first one is the Diviner. The second one is the Artifact. And the third one is an inverted broken one.
Hmm.
And I say from that, what should I say?
Let's see. Inverted broken one. So someone is broken and they can be fixed. If you can find that, it could help you find the gate that you need to get to the realm you're looking for.
There you have it.
So there you have it. You don't know what that means yourself, Portia. So you guys got a little bit of time to wait before the big top extravaganza. So we'll just kind of go one at a time here. Starting with Tiny G. Is there any of the attractions that you see that you'd like to go check out?
Yes, I want to go check out the carousel.
The carousel. Okay. So you guys head on over toward the carousel. Just kind of meandering around, discussing, what you had got from the reading, trying to figure out what this broken person might be that needs setting right. And when you come to the carousel, you see it's a procession of wooden unicorns. They stand motionless on a circular wooden platform. You see fairgoers clamber onto the unicorn's back, and a female centaur sets the ride in motion. The unicorns shake their manes and creak to life, cantering around the carousel to the delight of their riders. 1 ticket punch, a sign says, to ride the carousel.
Well, I will punch one of my tickets, and
All right.
I will head over to the female centaur. Kind
All
of
right.
just like floating my way over.
The female centaur, standing there, turns and sees you. She greets you with good humor, but there's a sadness you can see behind her eyes.
Ah, I got just the thing. I'm gonna dig around in my coat pocket and I pull out a miniature like wooden mouse that doesn't look like it does anything, but
Mhm.
it squeaks. It is always squeaking like in a cute. It's a very weird yin yang dichotomy where this is an overly cute thing just held by this person with no soul in his face. He's just like, see, we can find pleasures in our most basic terms. Now,
Well,
what is your name?
my name is Diana. What's your name?
My name's Tiny G. If it helps you remember, just a lowercase g. Diana, listen. Do you operate this machine?
I do.
Do you is it like hand cranked or is she just like the button pusher?
Just have to pull this lever and it'll go.
Alright. Does this thing have more than one speed?
Yeah.
How fast would you say this could theoretically go?
Theoretically,
Yeah.
you'd be hanging on for dear life at full speed.
Can I very discreetly slide her like 4 silver and a wink?
Yeah.
Alright. Just wait till I get on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go hop in line.
All right. You notice that the centaurs, a lot of them have name tags that are kind of partial, like a lot of them worn away a little bit. So the ride's seen better days. Big Blue, do you want to go for a ride?
Yeah, I will get my ticket punch and I will say to the centaur, "Why so blue?"
What do you mean?
You generally, when somebody's running a carousel, they're much happier, given the fact that they can work on a carousel. But you don't look happy to be working on a carousel, which would makes everybody happy.
Well, yeah. What brings you to the carnival?
We're seeking a gateway into the Feywild, and it's hidden somewhere here in the carnival.
Her eyes
But it's
actually
very secret mission.
her eyes get kind of big at that.
Oh,
Portia, you notice as well. Tiny G's already on a unicorn rated. It said, "Get this ride going." She looks like around to her left and to her right, and then motions for you both to come closer. And then she starts to say, "Well, actually, you were talking about prism." And as soon as she starts to say "priz," she coughs, and you see like some brown tree sap come out of her mouth, and she like quickly wipes it away off on her hand and stuff. And she says, I can't talk about it, but the unicorns could tell you." She says, she points over to the unicorns, And she goes and rummages for like a pot with some paint in it and some paintbrushes. And then she tells you, I cannot say what I want, but you can speak to the unicorns if you can restore their names. The carousel's 8 unicorns ride in pairs, you can see, and each unicorn wears a name tag on its bridle. Some of the names are legible, while other name tags are worn and indecipherable. She says as soon as this ride is done, and she cranks the ride on like full speed, and the kids start screaming. Tiny G's like hanging on sideways as the thing's going around in circles. And so with the screaming and stuff like that, she's able to talk to you out loud a little bit more. Here's a pot of gold paint and some paintbrushes. She's like yelling at this point over the carousel. I'll close it for repairs. I'll say that, it like broke down, it was going too fast. If you can repaint the correct names on the unicorns, I think they can tell you answers to what you seek. So, when the carousel finally comes to a stop, the kids go screaming to the arms of their moms and dads. And Tiny G comes over, gets caught up with you guys about what's going on. You look back at the unicorns, you can see that there's 4 pairs. One says fortune and a word with like 4 letters. One says fall and a word with 5 letters. One says stone and a word with 4 letters. One says stitch and a word with 4 letters. So you got to fill in the missing letters.
Oh.
Any idea what they might be?
Is the third one stone and moss, maybe?
Is it possible to wipe off the paint while it's still wet if nothing happens?
You can certainly try. You want to paint in moss on that one?
Yeah, try it.
You painting that on there, Tiny?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing happens when you paint it on, good or bad. The centaur says you have to paint all the names in before you can ride them all. And then they'll talk to you if you paint the names on right.
Do you all think that maybe this one here, and she'll point to the one that's like PR and fall, might be pride? Pride, comes before the fall. It's either that or prune. But if nobody objects, I'll paint that in.
Okay. Pride is painted on that one.
Fortune and bold, maybe? No. That's dumb.
But these are.
Oh, that's not dumb.
Can we get Vanna? Can we buy a letter?
By a vowel.
Buy a vowel. I would like to spin one more time.
Itch and
I was going to say time, but that's not the right letter.
Can I look at the unicorn? Do they look like? Do they look like any?
They don't give any hints to the name, unfortunately.
Bitch.
Would I potentially, would any of these words have any significance to me based on other attractions at the carnival?
No carnival attractions give hints to me. So you got
8 unicorn names.
You got Pride and Moss, the 2 middle ones. Did you have an idea for the first one?
I mean, I don't mind bold.
Bold? Okay. All right, so you got bold and Pride and Moss, and you just got to figure out what to paint on the last one.
having trouble just coming up with a word that has a middle letter in it. That's hard.
Like what would? I mean, I guess the word. No.
Well, you can
Is
come
it
back.
sand? No.
You can come back later. You can go and check out the other amusement stuff and think about it, and
It's gonna bother
maybe
me.
talk to other people once they show up and see if any of them have any
See if there's
ideas.
people that are like, oh yeah, that's definitely.
Right, and it might come to you
Yeah, yeah.
guys just walking around.
Oh my goodness.
So let's go on. If you think of it, if you think of the last one, we can come right back when you do. Let's see, that was Tiny's idea to go to the carousel. So let's go with Portia. What would you like to see, Portia? You normally are working, Portia, so you normally don't get to check stuff out. So this is kind of fun for you.
Right.
Portia, did it seem like that ride made me any taller at all?
Oh, from the
From the
centrifugal
stretch,
force.
that was so much fun.
Yes, you must be at least 1 more inch taller.
Okay.
She says out of pity.
It's okay. We'll take it where we can get it.
Here, maybe you might be interested in this. I find it fascinating, and we'll go towards the Hall of Illusions.
The Hall of Illusions. All right. On your way to the Hall of Illusions, you pass by all sorts of fairgoers. You notice one thing kind of odd as you're passing by some wagons and some buildings kind of over here. And that is... Let's see. This is going to be you seeing this portion. And then you can alert the others. So you get a sense like something's watching you, and you catch its eye. Looks like maybe it's a frog, but no, its eyes are too humanoid looking. It's blurry though. No, you're looking at a reflection. You turn to see the actual form, but it's not there. It's gone. You turn back to the propped up silver platter that you had seen its reflection in, and it's gone there too. You don't know what it was, but it seems like it was watching you. There's
I'm
no
sorry,
sign.
where was this platter?
It was like right over in this area by Lost, like right over here. You're just kind of walking on by. Just some random platter sitting on the ground. You pick it up and check it out. It just like it was discarded from one of the food concession stands. Speaking of the food concession stands, any of you who are interested in food, there's all sorts of food stalls here. For one take a punch, you can buy a snack served by a large flower petal, on a large flower petal, or a beverage served in a fist-sized snail shell, and that includes all those offerings there, from blue frosted cupcakes to tree sap lollipops.
Cupcake. I'll take a punch.
Okay.
A blue frosted cupcake.
You also, as you continue on, pass by a game. Kind of near the central square area there is a game called Catch the Dragon by the Tail. Prizes, prizes, prizes. Catch the fairy dragon by the tail and win a piece of its hoard. So, if you want to try, it's one ticket punch. You blindfold.
Quickly running out of tickets.
Standing in a booth, you must grab the tail of an elusive, giggling red fairy dragon that flutters around them. You get 3 tries. An 18 perception check earns you a prize. Or 2 if you make it on the very first try. Anyone want to try?
Yeah. Perception is wisdom?
Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, hopefully it goes better than last time.
Go for it.
I'll go. Does anybody else want to go?
You can each give it a try. Everyone who wants to try it.
Tiny will give it a try.
Am I allowed to take part in these or not really?
You are. Yeah, actually you are. And you don't even have to use a ticket for it.
Okay.
Ooh. Big Blue goes in there and catches that dragon on the very first try, so he's going to earn 2 prizes. You're going to get, let's see here. You get a wooden wand with 8 charges. As an action, you can expend one of the wand's charges to cast the Prestidigitation cantrip. The wand cannot be recharged. So you get a wand to Prestidigitation, 8 charges.
I am here for the moment. I may have to pop off again. I'm sorry.
No worries.
We put an offer in on a house and our realtor called, and so we're talking. But
okay.
My wife and her are talking, and I decided that I was just sitting there so I could come over here and play while that's happening.
Okay, your second prize is you get a replica unicorn horn filled with candy. Big Blue. Hey Josh, can you mute when you're not talking?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We'll do some more Catch the Dragon in a second here, but first, let's get Josh up to speed. So Josh, type in chat when you're not here, or let me know when you're not here. So
I will do that.
We did some backgrounds, and Jotaro, your background in getting here was the Warlock. So you were summoned to the abode of a human warlock named Madrick, and I kind of went through this with the other person summoned by Madrick, so I'm not going to repeat everything Madrick said, but I do want to go over if you have any questions for Madrick. So, Madrick told you he needs you to try and find out what happened to a Fae, Archfey named Sibilna of Prismere. And so here's Madrick here. That's what he looks like. Old gentleman. And go ahead, Jotaro.
Jotaro's background is he's kind of a fixer for the Sealy Court. He gets sent on, kind of missions to do tasks and odd jobs for Archfey and Fey-pacted warlocks and all of that. So I figured that Jotaro was just kind of sent to assist Madrick by someone, and whatever Madrick says to do, that's what Jotaro's going to do.
Okay, so Madrick wants you to go to Prismere and find out what happened to the Archfey named Sibilna. Do you have any questions for him before you leave on this quest?
What's the best way to get to Prismere?
Well, there should be a Fey crossing within the Witchlight Carnival. I haven't been to the Carnival in 64 years, he tells you, so you'll have to explore it thoroughly. But Sibilna is a fairy godmother of sorts to mortals, and she created the Carnival as a gate to her realm. About 64 years ago, it was run by a couple of Shatterkai, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. I don't know if they're still there or not. Do you have any other questions?
Is there anything that you would specifically like me to look for in Prismere?
Well, Prismere, it's a domain of delight, ruled by Sibilna. She dwells in the Palace of Heart's Desire, in the heart of the domain. She can assume many forms, and is brilliant and secretive and wise. When she presents herself to mortals, she usually assumes the form of a statuesque woman with long white hair and a small tattoo shaped like a chicken's foot below one eye. You notice that Madrick has the same kind of tattoo. If I blow him up, this dot right above his eye right here is a chicken foot tattoo. And that, Jotaro, jogs a memory. Let's see. So you recall a forgotten childhood memory of a woman matching Sibilna's description. You remember an older family member telling you about a woman with long white hair who helped deliver you when you were born. Any other questions,
Very cool.
Jotaro? No,
Does he have any idea what may have happened?
no. It's been like a year now since I've heard anything from her.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would
Okay, then I'm going to
Yeah.
kind of get you into the fair. So you had to come through the ticket booth into the fair. Ticket booth is manned by a goblin, an old goblin. The ticket booth itself has a silver statue of a dancing fairy mounted on the roof, surrounded by fluttering butterflies. And the booth is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky with shooting stars arcing across it. Adult tickets 8 silver, child tickets 3 silver. Free ticket? Make a Fey pact to get 1 free ticket. There's an elderly goblin perched behind the ticket counter, peering at you quizzically through a spyglass. He lowers the spyglass and calls out to you, "Greetings, fair fairgoer. What is your name?"
I am Jotaro.
Jotaro. Oh, Jotaro. Hold up. He rustles beneath the ticket counter, and he pulls out a box, an ornate wooden box with a silver clasp and the monogram NM. And it contains within 1 prepaid ticket for Jotaro. And he hands it to you. And he hands you a map, and he hands you a pair of fairy wings. And he says, "Keep these on. They let everyone know that you are you have purchased a ticket, not just snuck in."
I put on the fairy wings.
All right, then the party, they went to the carousel, and they kind of drew a blank on the carousel, so maybe when they fill you in, you might...
I already know. I solved it already.
Okay,
in
what is
a
it?
previous adventure.
Oh.
You want me to tell you?
Oh, you solved it.
No,
Okay.
I know the answer because I solved it.
Did you solve it yourself in that adventure?
I mean, we all solved it together, but yeah, we all figured it out. It was, I mean, once you
see here. Jotaro,
once you know it, I mean,
your intelligence
I
is...
solved this
Go to make
second pair on my own.
Okay,
and then that opened up.
go ahead and make an intelligence check. If you get a 10 or higher, you can let them know what the last one is.
Oh, did they get all of them but
They
the
got
last
all
one?
but the last, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Last
did not.
one's sand.
No, I would not have got the last one because I didn't know that saying. So, just so you know. My intelligence check is a 14.
Okay. Let's see. Finish the whole... You can just tell them finish the whole rhyme. A stitch in time saves...
Yep.
Oh, 9.
9.
There you go.
What?
9.
I am so silly. I
Okay.
can't believe I got the first half and then was like, nope.
Yeah, well, when I saw that, I kept saying, well, time doesn't work. That's an N. Because I never really, I didn't know that whole thing.
All right. So you guys can return back to the carousel and ride the carousel. So,
Did we get all the other ones?
yeah. Fortune
awesome.
favors the bold. Pride comes before the fall. A rolling stone gathers no moss. And a stitch in time saves 9.
Like the
So,
first and last words of
when
all.
you guys ride the carousel, the unicorns share with you secrets. Let's see here. So we'll start with Tiny G. Tiny G. Bavalorna Blightstraw has what you have lost. Her lair is a rambling cottage on stilts in a fey swamp. She is allergic to seeing someone run Widdershins. Widdershins is WIDDERSHINS.
Yeah, I totally spelled that with a L and T's. Thank you.
Okay.
So, sorry, Babolorna Lightstraw. And a and the face one. Okay. Oh, or that. Thank you.
Then we'll go to Portia. And this is same for Big Blue and same for Jotaro. So Portia, Big Blue, and Jotaro, you all hear the same thing. Zybilna of Prismere is frozen in time. 3 hags have seized control of Zybilna's domain and split it among them. Together these hags form the Hourglass Coven. Their names are Bavalorna Blightstraw, Scabatha Nightshade, and Endolin Moongrave. and their splinter realms are called hither, thither, and yon. The coven is riddled with distrust. Copy this for you here. Similar Prismir is frozen in time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you guys get all that. When Maynard joins you, I'll share. You might want to go back and have him ride the carousel with you. All right. So you all were on your way to the Hall of Mirrors. Okay, so you get back towards the Hall of Mirrors. Put you all over that direction. On the way, you saw that strange reflection of something that looked like a frog, but with human eyes, and it was gone in a split second when you went to look at it, not its reflection. And, oh, we were doing the game that you guys saw on the way too, which was Capture the Dragon. So that is, see if anyone else wants to do that. Game, Catch the Dragon. There we go. Okay. So we did Big Blue already. Tiny G, do you want to play?
Yes.
All right. Punch your ticket. 1 ticket punch. 18 perception check. As you put the blindfold on, you try and grab the dragon flying around. No, you miss it. Try again.
Ooh.
Oh, he's elusive, that one. One more try. You got it. Last try. Tiny G, you're a victor. You get a prize, and it is a single application of magic face paint. As an action, you can apply the face paint to yourself or another creature. And this will all be in, I'll put this all in like the summary that I send you guys after the game. So you don't have to feverishly copy it. That's what it is. The recipient gains the benefit of a disguised self spell that lasts for 1 hour or until the recipient chooses to end the effect. Alright, after Big Blue, Portia, would you like to try and catch the dragon?
Yes, I will try. I've never attempted it before, but you guys are making it look possible.
So
Does this seem like something I can guide for?
Do a guidance on? You certainly can cast guidance on Portia, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry
Portia,
about
this
that.
fairy dragon gives you a wink as you're putting the blindfold on. It's the same fairy dragon.
Oh, it's this. Whoa!
So you're going to gain advantage on your first try.
Oh boy, here we go. Not my strongest suit. Just a straight wisdom check.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Well, perception if you have it. Otherwise, straight wisdom. Yeah.
Okay.
And with the way guidance works is you decide if you want to use it or not. So you could, most you could is a 17 with that, so that's not going to make it. So you can try again. All these have advantage for you.
Okay.
And you still have guidance going. So you could, if you roll high enough on your guidance, make it with that 15. Do you want to use up your guidance?
Yes.
Okay, Big Blue, roll guidance for her. You're going to need a 3 or higher. Ooh, just short. All right, last try, Portia.
Well, one more attempt. Put out my hand. Boop.
Oh,
Nope.
No. The dragon tried and tried. All right. So Portia, no prize for Portia. Jotaro, do you want to try and catch the dragon?
Yes.
Okay, 1 ticket punch.
I'll give you guidance as well.
All right, perception. Boom, first try. No problem.
No guidance needed.
No problem for the ranger. So you get 2 prizes. You get packet of pixie dust and a trinket determined by rolling on the Feywild trinket table. Let's see what we get here. Trinkets. Yeah. 3. A silver hand mirror with a nymph-shaped handle.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I hand Portia my unicorn horn with candy. Not wanting her to be left out and want to keep the peace in the group.
So you're on your way
Portia
to
will debate whether or not to bring up the fact that she's not really a fan of candy, but will graciously will just nod and thank you and thanks and just put it in her purse.
So you're on your way to the Hall of Illusions. Oh, and I forgot I should do the welcome thing now that Josh is here. Let me do that real quick, then we'll do the Hall of Illusions. So the welcome gifts. This happens the first hour basically going around the circle, the figure 8 of the fair, is a 12-foot tall walking tree, garlanded in golden ribbons, marching down the thoroughfare. Emerald clouds swirl above the tree and rain down golden, spinning sycamore seeds. Fairgoers try to catch the seeds before they hit the ground. As the seeds gently fall, a chatty squirrel scampers along the boughs of the tree, handing dandelions to select passers-by. Would anyone like to try and catch a seed?
I will.
All right. Everyone who wants to try and catch a seed, DC 10 Dex check. You can guidance one person with that, Big Blue. Tar made
Nailed
it. Tiny made it.
And I'll try to also do it. Dex.
Okay.
Dex check. Big Blue made it.
Yeah.
Portia, you want to try and grab a seed?
Yeah, sorry, I gotta click off my token here. What's going on?
You guys are right over here.
My token button's labeled wrong, but the macro works fine. I got the right modifier.
Oh, your Dex is wrong.
Yeah, it says D8, but it should be D14. But I got the +2 on the roll.
I'm a little worried that. Let me just attempt to write something. Okay, that works.
Oh, you're not on select. You're on draw right now.
Oh, that is why. Okay, thank you so much, because I was very, very confused. Dexterity check.
You made it. Okay, so you all captured a seed. So you all get the gifts for the welcome gifts. Okay, we'll start with Jotaro. So Jotaro, your seed. Jotaro, you gain a D4, which you can add to one ability check you make before the next dawn. And then Tiny, your seed turns into a gold piece.
Oh.
So you gain a gold piece. And then Big Blue, same for you. Your seed turns into a gold piece. And finally, Portia, same for you. Your seed turns into a gold piece. So everyone got a gold piece as your welcome gift. And Jotaro, you got a D4 to add to a check. Let's see what else is there. Oh, then the squirrel. So let's see. I got to picture these guys. Yep. This is the 12-foot tall tree ant, basically, that's walking around. It's like a juvenile tree ant. And there's a red squirrel like dancing around on his boughs up in the canopy, and he's like eyeing you guys, especially the fairies who can fly, and then eyeing the various acorns up there, and eyeing you and making sure you guys are not looking at his acorns. But he does carefully hand you each a dandelion. He says, "You should blow on this," to each of you.
Of course, I do what strangers that hand me candy say.
Jotaro immediately blows on the dandelion.
All right. Blowing on the dandelion. Okay. He says, Ashley, make a wish, blow on the dandelion. So if any of you make a wish and blow on the dandelion, note down, like in the notes section of your character sheet, what that wish was. Say dandelion wish, and then what you wished for. That might come into play later in the campaign. All right. So Northwind continues on. The welcome gift is over. We're now on to hour 2 of the festival. So I'm going to move the time thing over to hour 2. There we go. Big Top Extravaganza is at hour 4, so you have a little bit of time to explore still. You come into the Hall of Illusions, and that's a large tent painted with a mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies diving into pools of color. The helical stripes of the tent's pointed canopies rotate in spirals. You also, as you're approaching, notice a large glass cabinet standing to the side of the tent. You see a sign over the tent that it's 1 ticket punch to enter. And you see a clown dressed in muted garb standing at the tent's entrance, blinking at you. That's this clown clown named Candlefoot. Portia, you recently witnessed something kind of embarrassing for Candlefoot, or at least you heard tale of it. You might have been working. Candlefoot proposed to the mermaid Palasha, or at least he was trying to propose to her, when he lost his voice and went fleeing away embarrassed. And he hasn't talked since. And Portia's just distraught. And so you know that bit of gossip as you guys are approaching. So, glass cabinet stand to check out if you want. Clown dressed in muted garb taking tickets at the front door. What do you want to do, Portia?
I'll nod to Candlefoot, and I guess I might, if it's possible, I might be like, Candlefoot, I have guests of the carnival with me. Maybe I'll gain entry without the ticket punch.
Make a persuasion check. DC on this is going to be 10.
Sure.
Yep. Candlefoot meekly steps aside. You can tell he's just kind of downtrodden about everything and lets you all pass.
Okay. I'll in return, I'll promise to do a reading for him later on how he might get back like out of his voice funk.
I know.
Hey Josh, can you mute for us, please?
I know it's just $31,000. I just get it out of my.
I think he got up.
Yeah, you might move there. I'm muting you,
Oh.
Josh. There we go. He's muted. And actually, now is a good time to take a quick break as you guys step into the Hall of Illusions. All right, Hall of Illusions. So, you head on inside the Hall of Illusions, and you see tall mirrors lining the interior walls of the tent. They, near the entrance, reflect you in your youth. The images grow steadily older until the mirrors deep within the hall reflect onlookers in their twilight years. So, Portia, what do you look like in your youth?
Oh gosh. So it's definitely clear that this is a younger Portia, but she's extremely scrawny. Like and clothed in practically, things that look like burlap sacks practically. Very unkempt hair, very hollowed cheeks. I'll leave it at that.
All right. Jotaro, are you back, Josh? You're muted if you are. Tiny G, go ahead, Tiny G. What do you look like in your youth?
Oh. Wait, did you hear him? Oh, Tom, you might still have him muted, even though we can hear him.
I do have him muted. Here.
Oh no.
All right. Hey, Josh.
And I apologize for earlier. I thought I was muted, so I'm sorry that you had to hear whatever it was you could hear.
Oh, I cut off pretty quick. You didn't have anything.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I figured you didn't want real estate transactions being discussed over the internet.
Yeah, well, when I told Sarah, apparently I was unmuted. She's like, "Well, do they have any idea on what we should do? Because we can't figure it out." So Jotaro looks like Thumper from Bambi.
All right, Tiny G.
So Tiny actually sees former human self Tiny as like a teenager, and he just kind of looks at it and says, "I'll get that hag and my uncle."
And Big Blue.
Big Blue looks like a young Tom Cruise, but with a what do you call them? Ducktail? You know the haircut where it was all short except for the one thing in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's Big Blue, huh?
that's Big Blue is a young Tom Cruise with the ducktail or whatever you call it.
All right, now for the very old brown eyes youth. Okay, very old Portia. What's what Portia look like? She's very old.
I mean, that's a good question. I wanna say not dressed as she is now in this sort of kind of like fortune teller garb, but still with a fair amount of jewelry worn. Her hair is still long, but in a more complicated braid and like practically white gray instead of dark. And I'm gonna say that she seems very happy, which is kind of a contrast to her usually stony-faced countenance as you have come to know her. And that's it.
All right, Jotaro. Old age for Jotaro. You're muted if you're talking, Josh.
Sorry, yeah, I was getting to the unmute button. So Jotaro, in old age, his fur is pure white, and really, right now, he's kind of got this family curse that in the moonlight his fur sparkles. But at this, as an old age, his fur's all white and it sparkles constantly.
Tiny G.
Tiny G simply sees a identical reflection of himself and says, "Excuse me, this mirror's broken."
And Big Blue.
Big Blue is a fairy, but looks like Sean Connery, bald, large glasses, and a pipe.
All right. Let's see here. To play along with all of you having to have lost things as a background in AL, you won't be able to get inspiration until you recover your lost things. So Big Blue and others really got inspiration there, but you just don't get it until you find what's lost. And for those of you who are started on the Warlock quest, I'll get you something describing what was lost for the next time we play.
Perfect.
All right. So, besides that, walking around the Hall of Mirrors, nothing else inside the Hall of Mirrors. As you're exiting, you notice approaching that, let's see here, Hall of Mirrors, or Hall of Illusions, I mean. So approaching that glass cabinet that stands to the side of the tent is a halfling couple. They're holding hands as they approach the cabinet, and one is wearing a butterfly face paint, and he drops to one knee as he nears the cabinet. He pulls a small box from his pocket. His sweetheart bursts into laughter and begins rolling on the ground. The halfling in face paint begins sobbing and darts past you guys into the tent without even getting his ticket punched. And Candlefoot just shakes his head like it's been that kind of night. As the halfling goes running into the tent. What do you guys want to do?
Well, that's
Well,
simply
now-
not good.
What do I recall that was this the exact spot that
No.
Candlefoot?
Not the same spot that Candlefoot failed his proposal in that he lost all ability to speak. In this one, it looks like the halfling man kept the ability to speak. It's just that the woman started laughing hysterically. And as you guys are kind of taken aback here and kind of evaluating this, finally she stops laughing. She gets up, looks around, and comes running over to where you guys are at and cries out, Reuben, Reuben, come back, Reuben. So you can see that this glass cabinet that they went to, it has a wooden mannequin in it of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape hovering inside a glass cabinet. At the top of the sign reads Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter.
Does the wax or whatever figure of Tasha have that chicken foot tattoo under her eye?
Let's see. It looks like this picture I'll put over here. It's very similar to that. So zoom in there, and you think you can just make out something like that.
Does that trigger anything as far as having come into contact with the warlock and his description of Zabilna?
Well, that had the same description, right? Of the chicken foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you guys trained in history?
I think so.
Intelligence history? Portia's not.
Jotaro is not.
Taro's not.
I am.
Tiny G or Big Blue, you are?
Yep.
All right, Big Blue. Yeah, between you having talked to the warlock and Jotaro having talked to the warlock and your knowledge of history, Big Blue, you know that Tasha was one of the names used by Igwil for the Witch Queen, a legendary archmage. How she seems to have the same tattoo as described for Zabilna, you don't know.
I also have Arcana. Can I make an Arcana roll to know about the spell?
Tasha's hideous laughter? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've heard of the spell. And
Okay.
that, you put two to two together, you think that's might have what happened to the halfling female. In fact, as you guys are investigating this cabinet, I need you each to make a DC 13 wisdom save.
A lot of notes to take. Great.
Tiny,
Jeez.
you feel the urge to laugh. Jotaro, you do too, but you two both resist. Portia falls
I suppress it
down
with my
laughing.
bubbly personality.
Big Blue,
And like,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, while she's uncontrollably laughing, she's like, can barely get out the words. Like, this is extra ironic because I know this spell myself.
All right. Meanwhile, back to the halfling couple. The woman is there at the entrance to the Hall of Illusions calling for Reuben. She says, can you help find him? Can you help me find him? To you guys.
Of course. I also do weddings. Once we sort this out, I also proceed over weddings. So, I'm gonna go into the Hall of Illusions. But as I go, I'm gonna take my wand. Is Portia up yet, or is she still rolling around in the dirt?
You guys drag her away. She's going to come help.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bop her with the wand of prestidigitation
Okay.
and fluff her up, or unfluff her.
Okay. Get the dust
Yep.
and dirt off of her.
Yep, exactly.
Let's see here. So you guys head into the hall to find Reuben.
Mhm.
Jotaro's definitely your leader when it comes to perception, but Tiny and Big Blue, you're both pretty good too. So Jotaro, why don't you make a perception check with advantage for me? Yeah. Okay.
21.
You come across Reuben, no trouble at all. Big Blue and Tiny and follow, and then Portia bringing up the rear, still giggling a little bit.
Yeah.
You find Reuben gazing worriedly into a mirror. In the mirror, you see a little girl in a pig mask. She is whispering to the halfling's youthful reflection. She sees you and turns and disappears. So I have a picture of what that girl looks like. Let's see. She looked like this. Little girl in a pig mask. Reuben kind of shakes his head. He says,
Hey, Tom, nothing showed up on my screen.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah.
It's right next to Candlefoot. The token's right next to Candlefoot.
Oh, I see it.
Ah,
I
I thought he popped open a picture.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole picture now.
Oh.
Ruben the Halfling, he says, she asked me if I had any regrets and said if I did, she knew someone who could help me. I just had to follow her.
Where'd she disappear, to the side or through the mirror?
To the side. So she was in the mirror.
Oh, she was in the mirror.
She was talking to the reflection of the halfling, and the halfling's reflection was of a little boy halfling. When she saw you, looking out from the mirror, she saw you, and she fled off the edge of the mirror. But never was she in real life. Only in the mirror reflection did you see her. So, she disappeared, and Ruben stumbles out of the Hall of Illusions. And when he does, he's reunited with his Levween son Dapple, and she accepts his proposal. She drops to her, she hugs him and accepts his proposal, and the mood in the carnival, all sorts of people gather around, and the mood in the carnival increases by 1. So,
Yay.
you guys are now here on the mood meter. 1
Ooh.
higher.
There's a mood meter.
There's a mood meter, yep. Hey, David's here.
Hi,
Oh.
folks.
Hey, David.
Good evening.
Hey.
Okay, so you guys just raised the mood in the fair, and let's bring in Maynard. So, Maynard, you had come to this fair many, many, many years ago. Where's the party's at? There. And when you came here, you lost something. You remember Mr. Witch say, an elf, say, silly little screeching cricket, you forgot to buy a ticket. And then Mr. Light said, the carnival goes round and round. The multiverse is our playground. Nothing free, nothing lost. Every visit has its cost. So now you're coming back because the loss that you experienced on your first visit is starting to weigh heavy on you. And unfortunately, you got lost on the way. That's why you're late.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. And not only did you get lost in the way, but you came to the backside of the carnival. So you're like over here. You can see the carnival across the little streaming river, blue river about 10 feet wide. You see a swan gondola go floating by. What do you want to do? You think the ticket booth is all the way around to the other side. Do you want to walk around to the ticket booth or come in from the back?
Well, I think I'd like to walk around from the ticket to the
Okay.
ticket booth because it went really badly for me when I snuck in the last time.
Yeah. So you come to the ticket booth, and at the ticket booth is a goblin. This ticket booth is ornamented with a silver statue of a dancing fairy, and it's decorated with depictions of the night sky and shooting stars. Adult tickets 8 silver for 8 attractions. Child tickets 3 silver for 8 attractions. And free ticket if you make a Fey pact. There's an elderly goblin perched behind the ticket counter, peering at you quizzically through a spyglass. And he lowers the spyglass and calls out to you, "Greetings, fair goer. What is your name?" Hey, Josh, can you put it on mute?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was trying to do something that I thought was.
All right. What's your name? He says to Maynard.
My name is Maynard. You might remember me from my performance in the Queen and the Owl. I played the mouse, and I assure you there was not a dry eye in the house.
He giggles and laughs at that. He says, "Well, Maynard, maybe someone remembers you because I think I have a free ticket here for you." He pulls out an ornate wooden box with a silver clasp and the monogram NM. And he hands to you a ticket, paid in advance for your entry. He also hands you a map of the carnival and some colorful cloth butterfly wings to wear while you're in the carnival.
Okay.
All right.
Well, pick up the map. I hold it upside down, and I can't make sense of this at all.
So you come into the carnival and you're kind of wandering around the carnival lost. And eventually you bump into this crew here. And there's a whole bunch of people that are gathered around watching this proposal just get accepted. Everyone's clapping and cheerful. And then Portia, you're the first to see Maynard, stumbling through the crowd with his map upside down, obviously lost and looking for something. What do you want to do, Portia?
I shall use my innate sense that this is a key meeting and be like, yeah, excuse me. Hello, come this way, please. I think you are looking for us.
Yeah, that sounds good. I can't find my way around here. I was looking for something I lost long ago when I was young.
Okay. So you missed the introductions, but you have Portia and Jotaro, who is a Herringon, and two fairies, about the same size as you, but flying a little bit above the ground. Tiny G, who's got a 5 o'clock shadow and a grim demeanor, and Big Blue. And they had all just witnessed the proposal of a couple of halflings. They are exploring the carnival grounds, trying to find any kind of sign for a fey passage to a realm called Prismere. And if you guys want, you can take him to the carousel, where you can maybe find out about his lost thing.
Yes, that is worthwhile.
All right. So on your way back to the carousel, you guys will pass by the Calliope, and at the Calliope, you get the opportunity, both Maynard and Jotaro, to give them a button. The Calliope, you hear it coming before you see it. Merry tunes spilling forth from it come from around the corner, and then finally you see it. You see a monkey wearing a cloak covered with hundreds of buttons, turning a handle at the wagon's rear, sending music into the air from rows of golden whistles. And a goblin dressed as a ladybug toddles up to you and rattles a tin cup. The monkey speaks to you and he asks for a button, if you can spare one. Would you like to give them a button into the tin cup, Maynard?
Do I have a button?
Yeah, you can pull one off your clothes if you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll give him a button.
Okay. And Josh, are you back? We'll get to Josh in a second. Assume he did. All right. Then on the rest of the way back, you have food. If you see any food stalls you want to grab some food from, one ticket punch each for some food. And then in the carousel. So on the way back to the carousel, they tell you that these unicorns can whisper to you information that the caravan master, the centaur Diana, cannot. And when you get on, sure enough, they do whisper to you. They tell you. All right. They tell you the hag named Scabatha Nightshade has what you have lost.
Ooh.
And Scabatha's lair is a dead, hollowed-out tree in a sylvan forest. Oops. Scabatha's lair. And furthermore, they whisper to you that the hag you seek sleeps in a dollhouse and can't remember the first creature she sees when she wakes up. All right, so you got that. You guys have explored the Calliope, the ticket booth, the Hall of Illusions, the carousel. If any of you want to, you can start marking these off too. And see, we did something that Tiny G wanted to explore, something that Portia wanted to explore. How about you, Big Blue? Anything for you?
The lake, the Silver Song
Silver
Lake.
Song
looks
Lake,
awesome.
okay. You all 5 head off to Silver Song Lake. on your way there, you pass a game booth.
You want to mark off like that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I don't want to mark up the map and get in trouble.
Not a game booth so much as
Nurse.
a poetry booth. Sound the chime, it's time to rhyme. You bring the poem, we'll bring the noem. It is a gnome poetry contest. Best of 5 lines, 15 performance check each line to win, and if you win 3 out of 5, you get a prize. If you win all 5, you get 2 prizes. Would anyone like to play? It's 1 ticket punch to play.
Really poor at this, though. I couldn't even solve the unicorn.
This isn't solving rhymes. You're just going to say a rhyme.
Oh, okay. But I still will struggle, but I will do it.
Okay.
Because you know what? You can't take these tickets with you.
Right. Okay, Big Blue. Make your first performance check as you and the gnome stand up there. The gnome delivers his line.
Yeah.
And if you have a line, you can fill it in. But if
Is that charisma?
Yeah, charisma performance.
Oh, I'm the worst person for this. 4.
4 is not good enough. Try again on your second line.
All right. Oh,
Nope.
oh.
11.
Was DC 15?
15.
Is there any... Okay.
And your third try. You got to get the next 3 in a row. Oh, you got 1.
Oh, I did get
You gotta
one.
get next 2 in a row.
All right. No.
All right. So the gnomes laugh you off the stage, Big Blue. Anyone else want to try and beat the gnomes?
I feel like, Portia, this is like really right down your alley. And you made me get up there with the guy with the charisma of 8.
Portia's, I'm in the process of writing a rap as we speak.
Okay. You want to hit it on the way back past the Silver Song Lake then?
I'll perform now.
All right, Portia. What you got?
Okay. I know. God, no, she wouldn't rap, but this is what I've come up with, and it's going to be in her voice, I guess. I know all, for sure all. See me if you have a question. We'll sit you down and have a session. See the cards for the desire of your hearts, because it is my profession.
All right, make performance checks with advantage.
Is that a limerick?
It sort of was half of one. Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Do I have my... Is my token still selected? No, it's not. Where did they move off to?
You all are right here.
Okay, thank you. Boop, boop, nope.
Charisma performance with advantage.
Oh, there we go. Charisma. Boop.
Boom, that's 1. You could get all 5 here with advantage.
24.
Right,
2. 3. That made it. 4. One
sweet.
more. Made it. All right.
Oh, good.
You get 2 prizes. And the gnomes are... First of all, it's cheating because you work here. So they're upset. Let's see.
I just have poems in my back pocket that I pull out whenever
You get a wooden wand similar to what Big Blue won earlier. So 8 charges of prestidigitation. And you get a bottle of Witchlight wine. While uncorked, it plays calliope music until the bottle is emptied of wine.
Oh, yay.
Say the wine one again.
Bottle of Witchlight wine. I just typed it in there for you.
Okay, perfect.
And the wand is right. Nope. Anyone else want to try? All right.
Oh.
Silver Song Lake.
All right.
Let me just note these prizes that we won. Prizes we won. All right. So the Silver Song Lake. Okay, so mist gathers at the banks of a shimmering lake. Near its center, a mermaid lounges in a giant bowl, singing a glorious, haunting song that captivates spectators on the lakeshore. In response, the lake water coalesces into magical sculptures that whirl around her as she performs. As you guys are enjoying the performance, there's a crowd all gathered around, and someone heckles out of the crowd just some horrible language towards this poor mermaid. And let's see here. You look around trying to see who it is. Best person for you to do that. The first check will make insight, and this will be Big Blue. And Big Blue, you can make an insight check with advantage. See if you can kind of zero in on where this heckling came from. Because when you look over where you heard it, you don't see anyone particularly stand out.
That's wisdom again.
Wisdom insight, yep. Okay. You notice someone in the crowd kind of moving strangely. Just a commoner, just a, fairgoer, not one of the hands or any of the entertainers or anything like that. So you're kind of paying attention to them. And then there's another heckle that comes from the crowd. And this time, Jotaro, if you're back, you can make a perception check with advantage. I don't think he is. So, Tiny G, make a wisdom perception check with advantage. As Big Blue is pointing out where to look.
Where are tokens? Found them. Boom! 13.
13, okay. You don't see who it is. And then, finally, a third jeer comes from the crowd. And this time,
Do the voices seem different each time?
they do, yeah.
Okay.
They do, actually. This time, Big Blue, you can make a perception check with advantage. Boom. Big
22.
Blue. Okay, you zero in on who's making the voice. You see, leaving the crowd, heading the direction toward the carousel across this little wooden bridge that goes over the river there, is an individual. But this individual seems to be shrouded in magic. There's some magic change in their appearance, and as they flee away, you see something flutter away from them, and it looks like a black feather. But while that's happening, at the same time as that person's fleeing away to the east, Palasha, she falters mid-song, leaps out of the bowl, and darts off down river. And when she does that, the crowd's mood goes down one. So you're back down to the start mood there. So, what do you guys want to do? You want to pursue the fleeing individual with the magic, or something different?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean,
You want to pursue?
plus, isn't this the Candlefoot's girl?
Yeah. Palasha is the one that Candlefoot was trying to propose to when he lost his voice.
Okay.
So Palasha's fleeing downriver.
I'm gonna pursue.
You're pursuing the feathered individual, right?
Yep.
Okay. Maynard, what do you want to do?
Is the feather loose? Is it somewhere floating around?
Yeah, you can run up there and grab the feather. It looks like a very large raven feather or crow feather.
Okay, but it looks ordinary beyond that.
Ordinary beyond that. I mean, too big for any normal-sized bird, you think?
Well, I'm going to follow after the person who dropped it, saying,
All right.
You dropped your sweater, your feather.
Jotaro will follow you guys. Tiny G, what do you want to do?
I'll follow Big Blue and
The group?
try and help him catch up.
And Portia.
Is it going to ruin things if I go after Palasha instead?
No, you can. It's kind of hard to go after unless you can swim.
Oh,
You can like
No.
run along the river looking for her. That's certainly something you could do.
Right. I think she's one of the few people in the carnival that I actually don't find overly annoying. And I would want to just make sure that she's okay and comfort her if I can catch up with her.
Okay, so you go
But-
rushing to try and find her.
But as everybody else is going the other direction, I'll be like, I'll catch up with you as soon as I can.
You never find her, but you do run back into Candlefoot. Candlefoot sees you coming, and then he starts miming to you. Let's see. He moves his lips as you're approaching, then he shakes his head while holding a hand up to one of his ears. He points to his he points to his throat, and then he starts like bobbing his head and flapping his arms like a bird.
Okay. Did you see somebody suspicious?
He nods yes. He flaps his arms and bobs his head like a bird.
Okay. A bird. Did you also see Palasha come by here?
He gets real sad at that, and he says he points to his neck, and then he reaches through a pocket and pulls out a ring, and he holds it in the palm of his hand, and he looks very sad.
Yes. Okay. If right. You can tell me the truth. Don't you think it's worth if we can get if Palasha is okay and she is here, don't you think it is worth proposing to her even if you cannot speak it? She would understand if you did what you're doing right now to her, I think.
He shakes his head vigorously no. But you can make a persuasion check. The DC is pretty high, DC 18.
Sure, I'll try. Are you okay? Well, since I don't think I'm one of the people with the lost things, is it okay if I use my inspiration now?
We'll all actually have to have lost things in the end. So no, you can't.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, hold on one second. Well, might as well attempt it. Nope.
No. He keeps pointing to his throat and moving his mouth like he wants to be able to speak again so he can ask her. And then he bobs his head and flaps his arms like a bird.
Okay. This bird that you are miming, where did you last see it?
He points to the direction of the lake. The last side of the lake. And with that, we'll get back to the group chasing the individual running away.
I'll start heading that way.
So you four go chasing after this individual, trying to it tries to duck in between various buildings and such. And let's see here. It looks like it loses a little bit of concentration on whatever magic it was using to appear as something else, and you can see its true form for a second as it ducks between some buildings. It looks like this guy. It's a Kenku that you're chasing after. It's got little fairy wings, so it's definitely bought its ticket into the fair. It ducks between some buildings, and the lead person chasing it would be Big Blue. So Big Blue, you have help though, so make a perception check with advantage. See if you can keep an eye on it as it's stuck in between the buildings. You see on that it's 15. Unfortunately, it gets away. But you know to keep an eye out for someone like that in the future. You guys kind of spread out, search all around that area, and don't find any sign of him. He's definitely disappeared into the crowd somewhere. Eventually, you reconnect.
Would any of us know the like nature of a kinku?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. You know they can mimic voices.
Can they steal voices though? Is that the canon, or is that special to this?
I think
You
if
don't-
they've heard it before, they can repeat it.
Yeah, but it's this guy lost, like it's stolen.
They don't ordinarily take voices from people.
You guys are all reconnected now. Yeah, you guys all regroup together. You kind of discuss about the Kenku. How could he have stolen Candlestick's voice? You don't think so, from what you know, but then who knows?
But
when it comes
why
to
would he be
Things
heckling?
here tend to get lost.
Yeah,
Oh.
things do tend to get lost.
If you weren't lost, I'd give you an inspiration right now.
All right, so we did something for Tiny G, something for Big Blue, something from Portia. Maynard, where in the fair would you like to investigate next?
Oh well, I have an appetite for the feasting orchard.
All right,
for
yeah,
sure.
you guys duck in here to get some food, talk over things, see if you can figure out where you might find that Kenku at. The feasting orchard. Music and mirth radiate from this park. The heady scents of flowers and mead and berry pie waft through the air. There's stilt walkers plucking fruit from trees, musicians drumming pipes and strums, and everywhere there is singing, dancing, and an inordinate amount of custard. Speaking of custard, there is a pie eating contest getting ready to start, or a cupcake eating contest.
Take my ticket.
This contest runs repeatedly throughout the evening. The contest table is piled high with small glazed cupcakes, each filled with a dollop of berry custard. The goal is simple. Eat as many cupcakes as you can within 60 seconds. Takes one ticket punch to enter. If you can eat 20 of them, you will win the prize. The prize is a cupcake. So, who would like to enter? Big Blue?
Tiny G will.
Yes.
Tiny G? Who else?
Doesn't look like I got a big stomach, but I can.
Jotaro, you want to enter the cupcake eating contest? You muted if you're talking. Jotaro's entering.
Sounds like
Okay.
Portia.
Portia, you want to enter?
No, but I would like to. If I can get one in this area, I'd like to buy a Euphorio while I'm watching.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. And Maynard, you want to enter the pie eating contest?
Yes, I'm in it for the free
Right.
cupcakes.
Okay, everyone swallows 3 cupcakes, no problem. Actually,
Is it cheating? I'm gonna try to cheat.
Take you
I'm not
guys
gonna
like this.
cheat. I am gonna cast Bless on myself. Who else thinks who else would like a Bless?
I would.
All right.
Please, bless
Yeah.
me.
Maynard. Who else? Tiny, or I can do one other person.
Jotaro would appreciate it.
All right.
Okay,
My
so you
con's
guys
only,
have all
+1.
eaten 3. Now, anyone with a con score, none of you have a con score of 10 or less, right? So you all eat 4. Anyone with a con score of 12 or less? You all eat 5. Anyone with a con score of 14 or less?
Sorry. Jotaro has a con score of 12.
12? Okay, Jotaro. Make, while you're trying to eat your number 5th one, try a DC 10 con save.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to find my token.
Oh,
With
you guys
amid
are
all of these
right
people.
over here.
Oh, there it is. Okay. There's so many people at the carnival. Here we go. Boom.
No problem. Number 6. So for number 6, you need to have a 16 con to not make a save. I don't think any of you have that. Maybe
No.
Tiny G?
Tiny has 16.
16, so Tiny's good. For number 6, Jotaro fails on number 6. Jotaro, when you eat your 6th cupcake, you take 3 points of custard damage. So lower your hit points by 3. Big Blue, you take 3 points of custard damage. Anyone else? All right.
I think Jotaro resists custard damage. Hold on.
Cupcake number 7. Everyone roll a d6. I mean, DC 10 con
Are
save.
we still in it if we take
You're
the
still in
custard
it
damage?
until you're down to 0 hit points, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My
Or-
question is, do I have to make a concentration save to hold bless
You do, yeah.
after
If you take
after
damage.
taking the taking custard damage?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Oh well, the bless fell.
Okay.
I apologize, everybody.
So Tiny made his save. Jotaro failed again.
Yes.
So Jotaro,
and
you take 3 more custard damage.
And I failed.
Maynard
So,
failed. Maynard, you
I
take
passed.
2 points of custard damage.
Those are some low D8 rolls.
I
Wow.
know. Okay. Number 8. DC 10 con save. Made it. Failed it. Made it. Made it. Only Jotaro failed. Jotaro, you take 2 points of custard damage.
Wow.
Cupcake number 9. DC 10 con
I feel
save.
like I'm just gonna get slapped back to back. with,
Made
like,
it. Made it.
eights.
Failed. Maynard, you take 4 custard. And Big Blue, you take 2 custard. Right. Number 10. Made it. Made it.
It just
Made
goes
it.
up.
Number 11. Try again. Made it. Oh,
Oh,
fail.
no.
Fail.
Jotaro
Tiny.
failed.
Tiny, you
please
take
don't do it to me.
3.
Okay.
Jotaro, you take 3. Jotaro
Jataro's
is
out.
out of the competition. He is covered in custard, and his stomach is all bloated, and he falls almost unconscious to the side.
And not be on you, bro.
Jotaro, you'll recover those hit points in about half an hour. Let's see, that was number 11. Number 12. Everyone go to roll. The 3 of you left. Ooh, Tiny failed again. Maynard made it. Big Blue
I started out
failed.
strong, but
Okay,
I don't
Tiny,
have
you
the
take
sustain.
7. Big
Ouch.
Blue, you take 4. Big Blue's in it still.
Yep, still in.
Number 13, everyone. And he made it. Maynard failed. Big
This
Blue
might be it for
failed.
Maynard.
Oh,
I'm
no,
out.
Big Blue's out. Maynard needs a low roll. He gets a 4. Maynard's
Oh,
out. Can Tiny
knocked
go the
out.
distance? Okay, Tiny. Number 14. Made it. Number 15. Made it. Number 16. Made it. Number 17. Made it. 18.
Oh, great.
Made it. 19. Made it. 20. Made it.
Oh.
Tiny
Whoa.
G.
Oh, wow.
That's on a crit.
Tiny
More.
G,
I
you
demand
win the
more.
prize. It is a cupcake. It's different than the
Wow.
ones you've been eating, though. It's strange in that the custard filling for the thing, you can, or the custard that's the dollop of custard on top of it, is like see-through. Almost like it's invisible custard. So, eat that cupcake sometime later when you want to. You can even maybe identify it and see what it really does.
Okay.
All right.
Cupcake
So,
of smiting.
Big Blue's recovering, Maynard's recovering, Jotaro's recovering. You guys are just like covered in custard and sick to your stomach. And you notice, as you're trying to recover, swinging from a limb of one of the pear trees is a gnome. Looks like this. Strumming on a lute. You notice, Portia, that there is a tarot card in the strings of the lute that the gnome is strumming. And the gnome laughs and claps and gets up and walks over to the group of you. She says, "You guys did amazing, especially you, little guy." Not often that a gnome says little guy to someone. My name is Eliwick. What's your names?
I've definitely never met this person before.
You have not met Eliwick before, no, actually.
I'm Jotaro.
My name is Maynard. You may have seen me in my performance in the Reign of Fortune and Frogs. I played the giant, and I assure you it was hilarious.
Eliwick looks down at her frog friend who's there by her, an albino white frog, and she says, "Is that true?" And the frog nods its head. Says, very impressive, Maynard.
I don't think I can talk right now. My cheeks are full of custard.
Well,
I
it's
found
good.
an appropriate thing for my token, the bloated symbol.
Nice. It's good that you guys are enjoying the carnival. Have you found anything out of sorts since you've been here?
So many things, but does this frog remind me of what I saw on the platter at all, or were they like different colors?
Different. The one you saw on the platter, now you compared to like this actual live frog, was kind of grotesque in ways, and it had like humanoid eyes, bulging humanoid eyes. Definitely not like this frog. This one looks like a natural frog, only it's albino.
Okay. Well, the most concerning thing is there seems to be a kinku of some type that is scheming to actively try to ruin the mood of the carnival.
I've heard of him, or them, or her. I don't know. Their name is Kettlesteam, I think. They have a reason for being here. Maybe if you talk to them nicely, they could tell you.
Well, if we can find them, I would be interested in doing so. I cannot help but notice that you have a diviner's card on your loot there. What is that?
Oh, this is the moon card. She shows it to you.
Ah, yes, of course. the moon, the moon card signifies, and then maybe the DM will supply that.
Well, here, I think you might be missing one. She hands it to you. And you look through your deck of cards, and sure enough, your moon card was missing.
What? Oh. Okay, genuinely, I cannot thank you enough for returning this to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see. Also, the mood went up 1 notch thanks to winning the pie eating contest. Also, the time increased 1 hour. Big topic extravaganza in about an hour, so we just got a little bit more time to explore. Eliwick says, once you guys all shake that off, you should go and, if you run across that Kenku, I'd recommend talking to them.
If they
Do you
rush
know where we could find the Kinku?
No. They're coming and going and hiding in and out. They have some sort of beef with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, I think. Not sure why.
More Kenku? More than just one?
No, just that one. Just Kettlesteam.
Oh, okay.
Why are you all here?
We're looking for a Fey Passover point to a realm in the Fey world called starts with a P. It's Premier.
Prismere.
I think it's Premier, but it does sound a lot like Prismere, though.
Yeah. Well, you're in exactly the right place to find that.
Right here? Like in the Feasting Orchard?
I mean, not in the Feasting Orchard.
Oh,
in the carnival.
Have you been to this Gateway Threshold Passover point?
I've been to Prismere.
Through here?
Well, I don't recall if I came this way or not.
Oh.
Anyway.
How long ago was it that you were in Prismere?
Not too long ago.
What can you tell us of the place?
That you should get there.
Did you see Zabilna while you were there?
I've seen Zabilna.
And in what state?
Well, I better get going. Let me just say the sooner the better. And with that, she takes her leave and heads on into the carnival. All right.
Jotaro gives her the rabbit eye.
That's right. Very cryptic. I
Okay.
have more questions and answers from that one.
Jotaro, you haven't picked a place you want to investigate. Where do you want to go?
You might be muted.
You are muted.
I am, because I haven't got used to my character's name yet. So you said Jotaro, and I was like, I wonder where Jotaro's going to want to go.
We are too.
So Jotaro would like to check out what kind of place. So Jotaro would like to check out the bubble pop teapot.
Okay. Grab all you guys. So you guys hang out there until you've recovered. Your hit points all come all the way back. After you've had about half an hour of resting. And you head off to the bubble top teapot, which is right over here. On the way to the bubble top teapot, you pass an exhibit, and a goblin cries out, "Strong folks, test your mettle in the goblin wrestle." Anyone want to wrestle a goblin?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Big Blue, punch a ticket, and you are small size. So you face one goblin. It's going to be a contested athletics check between you and a goblin.
All right.
Athletics check is.
Can I attempt to aid him by divulging and warning him that they oil up the goblins a little bit? To be mindful of that.
Sure, Big Blue, you'll have advantage on this check.
All right. That's great. So when she says that, I will create a bond with her.
Whoa, what does this do?
So if we're within 30 feet for 10 minutes, once per turn, we can roll a D. It's like a blessing that lasts for 10 minutes. But we have to be within 30 feet of each other. Bold and bond.
Okay. Well,
So as
I
long
don't
as
plan
you're
on
with-
moving.
And it's also ability checks. So bless doesn't cover ability checks if I'm right.
That's correct. So go ahead and make your athletics check. So you
All right.
wrestle with the goblin. Oh no.
Oh,
Gonna need a good bond roll.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So 2. Oh,
Actually, it's
no.
3.
3.
Okay,
3.
so you get advantage,
Nice.
so it's 13 on 13, so it's a tie. You guys fight to a
Ooh.
tie, so you're gonna roll again.
All right.
Oh, now you're all gonna be at 0. The goblin sprained his ankle, goes down
Good,
hard.
because I rolled a 4.
Big Blue drops on top of him. Big Blue, you win a prize, and you get.
Woohoo.
Let's see what you get this time for your prize. You get a trinket.
Oh.
He rummages around through the back of his wagon, throwing stuff out of a chest. All sorts of things you don't want go flying through the air. And finally, he picks out his prized possession to hand over to you, a paper wasp nest in a jar.
Ooh, I've always wanted one of these.
Yep.
really ties the room together.
All right. Maynard, you want to wrestle a goblin?
Sure, I'll have a go at it.
Okay, the goblins are on to Portia's hijinks now. And it's no more advantage for anyone. Unless you have some other hijinks up your sleeve, Maynard.
I don't have any hijinks up my sleeve.
You need to be at a 16 athletics check.
Huh, I don't like my chances.
The goblin plays dirty, pins your arm behind your back, and shoves you out of the rink after unceremoniously beating you. Tiny, You want to wrestle a goblin?
Sure.
I mean, you're a barbarian.
All right, Tani. You got to beat a 12 for the goblin. No problem.
Hey.
Tiny crushes the goblin. Not even fair.
Like literally just
And
this
wins.
giant fairy.
You get your own bottle of Witchlight wine,
Oh.
Tiny G.
All right. Is there a wax machine here? I gotta seal this so it never gets opened.
You can find one of those cheat machines where you like put your gold piece in and you roll it and makes it flat. Chitaro, do you want to wrestle some goblins?
Sure.
Well, you have to face 2 because you are big.
Oh.
So the goblins roll with advantage. As 2 of them roll up on you, 13 is what you got to beat. There's one's biting your leg, the other one pins you, and you lose to the goblins. Portia, you want to wrestle goblins?
Nope.
All right, you guys make it to the bubble pop teapot, and this is where you find the rest of the goblins in the fair because all right, the roof. Oops, that's a big top. Ignore that. 20-foot tall teapot rests on a wooden platform. Its painted surface whirling with moving imagery of flying dragons breathing streams of bubbles. A door at the base of the teapot allows entry to its interior, and you see those who enter emerge from the spout enclosed in a bubble that detaches to float off across the carnival. 1 ticket punch to enter. You see 7 goblins sitting around the platform. You swear a couple of them are the ones you just wrestled. They're sipping tea now from mismatched porcelain cups. One gestures to a sign on their table that reads, "The word that you intend to say, try saying it a different way." You see the lead goblin, the one that gestured to the sign, is wearing bright yellow butterfly wings, and he's got a string of teaspoons on his belt. So, are you here to ride the toil and trouble?
Yep.
Yes.
He gestures to the sign.
No.
Oh. I guess maybe I would have already known that, but. Niet.
No.
I.
Oh, good. Yay.
I said, do you want to ride in the gnarly tree knot?
Yay.
You gotta hand me your bramble thicket if you do.
Oh. I hand over my ticket.
And tell me what you want to ride.
A wobble.
A wobble. He shakes his head, dejected, takes your ticket, and lets you go on in.
I still think I'm going to premiere, so there's no. Don't have any faith in me.
First kettle.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
He hands you. He hands you a tea packet. He says, "This is some scatter leaf tea. Enjoy the ride." Punches your ticket. See, we had Big Blue took off already. Maynard's following. As you guys go in, you're enveloped in a magic bubble that floats up through the teapot spout and into the sky. You have a wonderful aerial view of the carnival below. You can try to control the bubble with a DC 10 acrobatics check to control where it lands. Otherwise, it'll just kind of randomly float to the ground somewhere. You want to try and control it, Big Blue?
No, I'm a kind of a chaos theory fairy.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna let it, unless it's going somewhere like weird.
No, you're good. It'll be safe enough. Do you want to try and control it, Maynard?
I have no idea where I'd go. So I guess not.
Okay. Tony G.
What about me?
Did you want to go on a ride on the
The
gnarly
bubble
tree
pop
knot?
teapot? Oh, no, I have a bad experience with trees.
Okay. Jotaro.
Charo will go on the Harley Beast Knot.
Really beast not. He claps. He hands you a bag of the tea. So let's see here. Scatterleaf tea going to Maynard and Jotaro.
I think I'm
Ju-
floating away, noticing that everybody else is getting things. I don't understand why.
Jotaro, you get up into your bubble. You want to try and control where it goes?
Sure.
Make an acrobatics check, DC 10. No control. You fly off randomly. Portia, you want to try and get in the teapot?
Yes, I will get in the exploding suds brewing device.
It's exploding his head. He shakes his head reluctantly. Make a persuasion check. DC 10.
Alright.
And Big Blue, you can make a persuasion check, DC 10 too. Alright, he gives you a packet of the scatter leaves. Sorry, Big Blue, no scatter leaves for you.
Still
Portia,
upset. Another person gets some.
Portia, you go floating off. Do you want to try and control the bubble?
Yes, I think from that height, I would sort of be reminded of the little like shack that's the lost property place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd be like,
Heading that way?
yeah, I'd be
Alright.
like, oh, well, maybe there's a voice there.
Make an acrobatics check.
Let's see, that's Dex. Where's Dex? Here.
The only person that can control a bubble is Portia. All right.
I wonder if I want to just, instead of landing, if I want to kind of see if I can see from this elevation the Kenku, is that still an acrobatics check?
No, you can definitely just look around for the Kenku.
Yeah.
But you don't spot him anywhere.
Hmm.
You guys all kind of land off to the north, but Portia leads you towards the lost property. You can mark off the bubble teapot. The lost property. The lost property wagon is manned by a couple of overworked hands, Witchlight hands, and a few lost children are always hanging about. So the Witchlight hands that you see everywhere, they're the backbone of the Carnival, a motley crew who operates the booths and makes repairs and feeds the animals and does performance and more. And there's probably like 100 hands here in total. There's several hundred carnival goers. But the very interesting part of the lost property is a displacer beast that is there. This displacer beast is hanging out by the lost property wagon, and there's a couple of kids like roughhousing around him. The displacer beast himself is a gray whiskered displacer beast, a large feline creature with midnight blue fur, 6 legs and tentacles, and it wears fake butterfly wings and has a keg fastened to its collar.
Like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, like a Saint Bernard. So, what do you guys want to do at the lost property? There's a couple of hands working the wagon itself. There's this displacer beast with kids roughhousing around him.
Would I know this person?
Portia,
The displacer beast?
you know the displacer beast's name is Durlagram, and Durlagram basically, takes care of any lost kids.
Okay.
Also, there's something kind of whispered amongst the various hands that something befell Durlagrim that's kind of was very sad in his past. You haven't heard exactly what it is, and everyone's afraid to kind of ask the displacer beast directly. But you know there's something in his past that's odd.
I will go up to, because I have such a great charisma, I will go up to the Logron and ask him, her, it, whether or not, I don't even know if they speak common, but I'll ask if, have you seen a Kenku around here? I really want to talk to this Kenku. And have you seen a gate to the Feywild?
Did you?
I'll ask those.
You said that in common.
Yeah. What do I have? Do I have anything? I have Sylvan.
You say it in common in Sylvan.
Yeah, common and Sylvan.
He doesn't recognize the common, but he does speak back to you in Sylvan.
Oh.
So, in a purring voice, he says quietly to you, "Some things go missing from Witchlight Carnival and never come back." Before I can say more, the older of the two boys have been roughhousing by it, picks up a mirrored ball from the lost property wagon, and when he does, dear Logrim, which seemed like nice and tranquil and peaceful, kind of snarls, snatches the ball back from the kid with a flick of its tentacle, and Vero goes crying and dashing away in fright. So you were kind of startled by that too. You could see the strength and the power of this beast, who is, immensely bigger than all of you, and it's so gentle normally to the kids, it looks like. When that kid picked up that mirror ball, something triggered dear Logrim. Dear Logrim looks to you like startled and concerned, and he says, "I cannot leave this younger boy alone. Can you go after Vero for me?"
One you just scared away?
Yeah. Can you bring him back, please?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to apologize to him, but I'll get him.
Okay.
Can I use force? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. So you guys can all go rushing off after him. Have Jotaro make a perception check with advantage from Big Blue and everyone else's help. So perception check, Jotaro. Oh yeah. God.
Nice.
Is that broken? Is that just roll 20 and add your modifiers? I'm kidding.
I'm just that good.
Yeah, you're just that good. You find Vero, no problem, in a nearby candy stall. You bring him back, and your Logrim is very grateful. He says, "I owe you very much. For that I can share this. Many years ago, my own cub vanished from the carnival without a trace. His name is Star. All I have to remember Star by is his favorite toy, this small mirrored ball that Vero grabbed."
I'm really sorry.
We'll look for
How long ago
Star.
was it? Is it a few years ago?
It's been a long time now, many years ago.
Well, if we see a displacer beast with a gentle demeanor in the wilds that doesn't try to kill us, we'll ask him or her. Is Star a girl or a boy or
A boy.
okay?
He hands you, Big Blue, the mirrored ball, and he says, "I'm concerned that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are on edge. If you're willing to investigate, I would advise you not to confront them directly. They own this carnival, you see. Instead, I suggest that you sneak into the staff area, behind the big top, and spy on them and find out why they're so on edge."
Ooh, clandestine. That sounds devilishly fun.
I can assist with this. I feel good about it.
Okay.
If you see Star, he'll recognize this ball, so hold on to it. And if you can, bring him back to me.
Okay. Roger. Will do.
All right.
I just want to go over this. I huddle everybody up and I say, I think the plot thickens. I think that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. I don't know why I'm talking in this voice, but anyways, it's like that's my sneaky voice. But maybe we can go. I guess they're over there. Maybe we can, or some of us that are more sneaky can sneak.
Oh,
He
we
said-
simply must.
Yeah, he suggested that. Let's see here. Sneak into the staff area, which is behind the big top. So that's like right over here.
Does that sound like a plan? Or
Yes. I have a carnival costume that maybe somebody could wear to look like staff like me, and I also have these a disguise kit. So maybe I could make one more, like fashion one more costume from some scraps that I have in my fortune telling tent for another person. So maybe for the least stealthy of us. If that is anybody.
Yeah,
other than...
absolutely. So, the fortune telling tent, now that you say that, is right over here. And this wagon back here is where you keep your stuff at. So if you head over there, you could kind of get everyone kind of, looking like they were staff members, like they were Witchlight hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take the group over to here, and right next to that are a couple neat. There's the snail races over here, and there's the mystery mine over here, and there is the ring toss right here. So the ring toss. This owl mirage is no mirage. Adorn its horn with 2 or 3 rings to win a prize. So if anyone wants to do that, that's 1 ticket punch.
Yep, want to do it.
All right. You have to buy a new ticket pretty soon, baby.
Yep. Right now.
Jotaro's willing to do. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else move your token up 1 square if you want to do it? Start with you, Jotaro. Let's see here. You get 3 rings to toss around the owl mirage's horn, but the thing is teleporting back and forth on the table. 17 dex check. Advantage if you have Arcana. 2 rings earns a prize. 3 rings earns 2 prizes. Oh,
No
looks like everyone's
Arcana.
doing it. So let's start with Portia, actually. So Portia,
Okay,
You have
dex check,
Arcana?
you said? I do.
you do. So you have advantage on your dex checks. That's 1 success.
How many are we shooting for?
You get 3 rings, and if you get 2 on, you win a prize.
Okay.
There you go. And if you get 3 on, there you go.
Nice.
2 prizes. So, Portia, this is like right next door to your tent, so you do it all the time. So you know all the tricks. And you win. A replica unicorn horn filled with candy, different color than the first one you guys found. And a glove puppet in the shape of a wizard. As an action, you can move the puppet's arms to cast the minor illusion cantrip. After 3 uses, the puppet disappears in a puff of smoke. So that's what you found, Portia. Jotaro, go ahead.
I give Big Blue the cornucopia of candy.
I eat half of it right before this, trying to toss this dex.
1 failed, Jotaro. 2 fails, Jotaro. 3 fails. Jotaro misses. Tony G. You're looking. Tiny G, sorry. That's 1 success. Nope. And no. I think you need 2 of them. Did I read that right? 2 or 3 rings to win a prize. Okay. So that's Tiny. Maynard. DC 17.
I will show how it is done.
No working.
No.
One. Close. Big Blue.
Oh, I do have Arcana.
Oh, nice. Advantage on your
So,
checks. No. Yes.
oh, Now it's all on this
All
one
on the last ring
throw.
toss. No.
No.
All right. So now you can go into. Well, do you guys want to go to the snail racing or the mystery mine before you go in to get your?
Oh, I really want to go to the mystery mine.
Yeah,
Sounds perfect.
got to go to the mystery.
You know,
mine.
I have never been to the mystery mine. I don't know why. I am
So-
curious.
So this is the one that's famously copied after the cartoon. The mine entrance is the same as the D&D
gosh, are you
cartoon.
serious? That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Mystery mine. Okay. Propelled by magic, you see minecarts laden with fairgoers trundle onto or into an open dragon mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the far side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. 1 ticket punch to ride. Everyone who's riding, move your token down 1 square.
Well, yeah, I'm curious.
1 ticket punch for each of you. Near the entrance, there's a male dwarf dressed like a wizard. He shouts, "Unlock the mysteries of your mind in the mystery mine." He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption that's shaped like a giant eye.
Roll is it to sneak onto the minecart?
You want to try and sneak on, Big Blue?
Yeah, because what if... Alright, well, they can do this event. I'm going to go buy another ticket.
Okay, so you go running off to buy another ticket and join him. Meanwhile, while you guys are waiting for Big Blue to come back, the dwarf tries to get you to look into this contraption that he's got. Looks like a giant eye. He says, stare into the all-seeing eye. Does anyone want to stare into the all-seeing eye before you go on the ride? Move your token down 1 square if you do.
What does it do?
It will show you what the ride does.
Won't we know when we go on the ride?
You won't be ready if you don't look in the eye.
I can't argue with that logic.
That makes sense.
I shall meet it with my own all-seeing eye.
Tiny? Yes? No?
No.
No. Okay.
We need a
Portia,
control.
when you look in the eye, you see reflected in the eye your worst fears. Like, what is the creature or creatures you're most fearful of?
Definitely it is some monstrous-looking, gigantic serpents.
Gigantic monstrous serpents.
With arms and cobra hoods.
Okay. Jotaro, what's your greatest fear, creature-wise?
Arcanoloths.
Camelot.
I mean, they're foxes.
They're foxes. Very nicely done. Maynard, your biggest fear.
Definitely screaming elfin maidens.
Screaming
Sure.
elven maidens, banshees. Okay. All right. Big Blue, you come running back as Tiny G and the rest of them are getting on the wagon. You get your ticket punched. The gnome says, "Look in this real quick." You look in the thing he
Right.
shows you.
Yep, and jump
Okay.
into the cart.
What's your most biggest fear?
Giant frogs.
Giant frogs. You guys get in the cart. Their tongue.
It's just one together, Tom.
The ride. Okay. So, as you pass through the dragon's mouth, you enter another world as the ride plunges into undulating hills and corkscrewing trees and prismatic skies. Terrible monsters launch themselves at the cart at every turn. There are 3 other fairgoers in the cart. We'll use this family here. This unlucky family. And the first thing is all sorts of snakes. Giant snakes, humanoid snakes, cobra-headed snakes, snakes of multiple heads, snakes with heads on both ends, all sorts of scary stuff. Everyone needs to make a DC-12 Wisdom save, disadvantage for Portia. DC-12 Wisdom save. So, Jotaro,
What's
you
the paladin
scream
aura?
uncontrollably. Big Blue, you're okay. You're not afraid of him. Tiny, you scream, or grunt, or rage.
This one's
Maynard,
audible.
you scream. Portia, you scream. So the only person who did not, who made it, was Big Blue. And then, okay. So that's the first monster you see. And as the thing goes up over another hill, you see a bunch of foxes running towards the cart. And then one of them raises up and walks like a man and begins to cast spells. Everyone make a DC 12 wisdom save. Jotaro, you have disadvantage on your save. Jotaro made it. He faced his fears. Big Blue made it. Maynard made it. Tiny failed again. So that is... Big Blue made 2. Jotaro made 1. Portia failed, didn't she? Okay.
I'm
Maynard
like catatonic from the first one.
and Tiny hasn't made any. Okay. Next is Tiny, who didn't look into the contraption. And so now there's some giant spiders crawling down. Everyone makes a 12 wisdom save. But no one has disadvantage. Portia doesn't like spiders, though. Big Blue failed. Jotaro made it. And Maynard failed. Tiny made it. Okay. It's 3. So Portia's failed 3 so far. Maynard. So you come around the hill, and Maynard, your thing was...
Banshees.
Banshees, okay. Come through a forest of spindly trees, and there's a little elven conclave there, but when they turn, they're all undead and scream. Everyone's got a DC 12 wisdom save, with Maynard having disadvantage. Big Blue made it. Portia failed again. Jotaro made it. Big Blue made it. Tiny made it. Maynard disadvantage failed it.
Am I even up because I'm brave?
Oh, yeah, you're straight up because you're brave. So Maynard made it. Okay. Big Blue, the giant frog swamp. So the cart goes plunging through the giant frog swamp. Everyone make a DC 12 wisdom save. Big Blue with disadvantage.
Is it a frog hemoth from Cholt?
Yeah. Jotaro, no problem.
Is it not kosher to sacred flame the?
Oh, you can
frog?
certainly do it. Yeah. You still have to make the save though.
Yeah.
Tiny failed. Big Blue made it. And Maynard made it. Okay. And we won't do the family. So you come to the end of the ride. And the only person that failed 3 checks or more was Portia.
Tiny definitely did.
Tiny, you failed 3 too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Portia and Tiny. So, Portia and Tiny. Tiny, you're haunted by nightmares of all these different monsters that you didn't know you were afraid of. Portia, you're haunted by the snakes and the spiders and others. And the effect that will have is... Did anyone make all their saves? No one made all their saves, did they? Jotaro failed just 1, right?
I failed just 1 too.
Okay.
Yeah, Jotaro failed his first one.
Okay. Right. So, Portia, you're going to be haunted. Your dreams are going to be haunted. Every morning after you finish a long rest, you're going to have to make a wisdom save, or else you'll suffer D3 exhaustion that day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And it's going to last you for 8 days. Portia's 8 days. And Tiny, you have the same effect for 6 days. So, when you wake up after your long rest, you have to make a DC 12 wisdom save or be haunted by your dreams. All right. That is the mystery mine. If you had made all your checks, which no one did, you would have had advantage on all charisma checks at the carnival for the rest of the night. But no one made it. Okay. There's just enough time for you guys to take part in a snail race before you need to get going if you want.
Why would we not?
I know. Why not?
I mean, come on.
Snail racing.
I needed distraction immediately.
Yep.
The grandstands next to this race course are filled with cheering fairgoers, ringing bells, swinging rattles, and waving flags. On the starting line, 8 giant snails are having their shells scrubbed by pixies. Above the circular course, a wooden gantry hangs from the branches of a central tree where 2 goblins officiate the proceedings. 1 ticket punch to enter the race. So, if you would like to enter the race, we will track the race down here below. And move your token 1 square up if you want to enter the race for 1 ticket punch. All right, everyone's entering. So, I'll put you here by your giant snails.
Oh, look at this preparation.
So, snail. The teams. Looks like Portia gets pink team. Shelly Moo is the name of the team. Jotaro gets the blue team. Nimblefoot. That makes sense. Tiny G gets the purple team. High Road. And Maynard gets the green team. Quickleaf. And yellow flower flash to Big Blue. All right, so that is your team colors, and the crowd's all gathering, getting ready for the race. It's like the last race before the big top extravaganza is going to take place. The rules for the race. The course is 480 feet long, so each of these squares is 10 feet on this race course. The snails are very fast. Some sort of pixie magic. Pixie dust all over them, glittering all over them. They can move 80 feet around by themselves. While you're on them, you'll make an animal handling check. And you can make them go further or less far. If you cross at the same time, then the furthest gets the win. If both of you get the same distance passed, then it's a tie. Or a d20 roll. And if those tie, then it's a tie. There's signs posted in the stands and along the racetrack warn that neither jockeys nor spectators may influence the outcome of the race by using magic or by harming other jockeys or snails. Okay. So those are the rules. And round 1. Portia, go ahead and make a animal handling check. Round 1.
Wow.
17. So you go 10 squares. So you can move your snail. Oh, you probably can't move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Chitaro, animal handling. You go 10. Neck and neck in front. Tiny G, animal handling.
And they're off.
Oh, no. Tiny G
Ouch.
gets a 2, goes 60 feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Maynard.
Here it comes.
Maynard gets a 4. Same as Tiny G. Big Blue. Big Blue gets a 5. All you guys bring up the rear. And then we got the guys, the commoners on the other 3 snails. 2, 3. 13, 6, and 8. So 13, 6, and 8. 13 is 100. No, 13 is 90. Nice. 6 is 60. And 8 is 70. All right. There you guys are after round 1. Before round 2 starts, there could be a surprise.
Mm.
To the track.
One of the saddles comes loose and falls off. It's going to be a 15 dex save to remain on the snail. The snail will continue the race on its own if you don't remain on it.
Do you still win if the snail wins?
Maybe. It might be better for you, some of you. Okay, I'm going to roll a d8 from top to bottom. This is who gets it. Number 4. Maynard. 15 dex save to stay on your snail, Maynard.
No problem. I'm a hotshot snail rider.
13
But
on your
not
save.
that hot.
No, you fall to the ground there. And you're still. Now, Portia. Animal handling check.
Okay.
I moved you by your snail, by the way.
Oh, sure.
In case you're
I
wondering.
can maintain that going forward. 10.
10. So that is 70 feet. 6, 7. Jotaro?
It's going to be a 22.
Yes. Another 10 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then Tiny G.
I had a snail named Nimblefoot growing up. Brings back memories.
Another 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maynard, your snail, first of all, goes 80 by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you can stand up. And what do you want to do with your action? And the rest of your movement?
I'll run after the snail.
All right. So after you stand up, you move 10 feet. And then you run 1, 2, 30 feet. And then you don't have nimble action yet, do you? So that's how far you get running behind your snail. Big Blue. 10. That's going to get you 90 feet. I think. Maybe it's only 70 feet. 10 is 70. Back here, too. All right, commoners.
My snail.
2, 3. 13, 12, and 11. 13, 12 are both 90s. And 11, 7. Okay, round 3 surprise is... Surprise. Spectator throws a head of lettuce. The snail stops to eat the lettuce and doesn't move at all this round. Let's see who that gets. D8 roll. Maybe you can catch your snail if it stops. Maynard.
That's my hope.
1, 2, 3, 4. It did. Someone threw the lettuce out. Your snail won't move this round. Okay. Big Blue, or no, Portia. Emily Howling.
Oh, sure.
11. That's 70 feet, I believe. 11 is 70 feet. 2, 4, 6, 7. Jotaro. Oh no. That is only a 6 for Jotaro. So that is only 60 feet. 6. And then Tiny G. 15. That's good. 15 is 90 feet. No snail movement for Maynard. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Maynard, you can catch up to the snail. You're back on it.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. And then Big Blue. Big Blue got a 13, which is 90 feet. All right, commoners. 2, 3. Let's see. 8, 7, and 10 is 60 feet and 70 feet. Commoners almost catching up with you, Jotaro. After that disastrous round you had.
It's not good.
No. Okay, surprise for this round is going to be 7. Bolstered by cheering crowd and moves an extra 20 feet this round. And that goes to snail number 6. Oh no.
Commoner.
The commoner that's catching up with you, Jotaro. The crowd's roaring in his favor. We'll start with Portia.
Oh, sure. 10 again.
10 for Portia. That is 70 feet. Is that racing?
Yeah.
Yeah. 7. 6. Okay, Jotaro. Boom.
Nice.
I think when you crit, you double the
You
speed.
should, yeah. Tiny G.
Yeah.
9, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Maynard.
I'm going to catch up this time.
Ooh, they are
17.
17. That's 100. 6, 7, 2, 6, 7. Yes. All right, Big Blue.
Nice.
Big Blue goes 10. And then the commoner. First 20 feet for free to the crowd. Then 3 commoners. 1, 2, 3. Look at that little kid go.
Oh wow.
1,
Yeah,
2,
that one
3,
commoner's
4,
a
5,
shark.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Takes the lead ahead of Jotaro. Then we got a 12, which is 70, 90. And then we got a 2, which is 60. 6. All right. Surprise this round. Be better if I had made the surprises so you could see them. Another spectator throws a head of lettuce, which will stop one of the snails.
Row 6.
Just as you guys get near the finish line, it is 7.
7.
So this guy is stopped. Okay, Portia, animal handling.
7.
7. That's going to be 60 feet. No, 70 feet. 60 feet.
Right,
So
could you win
this-
it?
Okay, Jotaro.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Look at
6,
Jotaro
7,
go.
8, 9, 10. Almost.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Almost.
Taiji. 8 is 70 feet. All right, Maynard. Maynard
All
needs
right, I want to beat that commoner
Maynard
so I
needs
don't finish dead last.
Oh
but-
no.
Oh,
60
no.
feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're not even ahead of the commoner that isn't even moving this round. Big Blue.
See, that's what I get for laughing.
9. So Big Blue goes until 70 feet. 2, 6, 7. Okay. The young commoner. The young commoner gets a... Oh no. Slows down. 13. That's only going to get him 90 feet. 2,
It's right at the
Oh,
finish line.
goodness.
6, 7, 8, 9. They're running neck and neck. And then that guy doesn't move. And then the last commoner. So save. It's an 11.
I could win this.
70 feet. 6, 7. Okay. Surprise this round is... I'm rerolling a 5. Stitch. One of the snail's speed is reduced by 40 feet this round.
Oh
Who is it?
Number 6.
Number 4. Maynard.
Oh no.
All right. Portia, go ahead. Animal handling check.
Oh Lord.
0.
My snail doesn't move.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jotaro. You need a big number, Jotaro. Gotta beat that commoner. Oh no. That's animal handling. So that's an 11 animal handling. Which is good. Nope. Still only 70 feet. Let's see. 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, Tiny.
Oh, he said he would be right back.
Oh, okay. Maynard. You're gonna be 40 feet less than whatever you roll.
Okay.
Oh no. 20 feet. Big Blue.
All right. Only 13.
Ooh, that's pretty good though. It's the getting into the second
1,
notch
2,
there.
3, 4.
Going 90 feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ooh.
Okay, Tanji,
Come on,
going to
low
roll your
roll.
check.
Not for
Don't call it a comeback.
That's right.
you.
26.
Where's
Oh,
the-
19.
Ooh.
We're zooming.
There you go.
There goes Tiny G. Okay, with 3 commoners. The big one's the first one. 2, 3. Oh!
Yes. Tie!
1, 2, 3, 4. They were tied before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The second commoner got a 12. That gets him 70 feet. Three-way tie. Oh, wait, I moved Big Blue. That's what I did wrong.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I made Big Blue 5 swords.
I mean, not.
There we go.
I mean,
That commoner tied. 6. Then this guy's move. All right. So, Chitaro, roll straight D20. Actually, roll an animal handling check. I'll give you your animal handling check bonus. This is the tiebreaker. Whoever gets the higher animal handling check wins the whole race. Oh no. 7. Commoner gets a
3.
8.
Oh my god.
Squeaks out the win. So Commoner is going to win the first prize. Maynard, you get the consolation prize for coming in last place, which is
That's just this is the worst. Chitaro quits. I'm just kidding.
Isn't there some story about the rabbit and the tortoise?
I think it's not a snail.
The consolation prize is a magic wand that allows the soldier to cast the dancing lights cantrip one time, and then it becomes a tulip. So Maynard, you got a wand to cast dancing lights once.
Okay.
And everyone cheers of the good sportsmanship and that you all took place, and the mood goes up by 1. Since the majority of you
What
took
did
place.
the commoner get for first?
Oh, you want to rub it in, don't you? First place prize was a potion of advantage,
Oh,
Whoa.
which is the same as like using inspiration. Kind of. All right. So, time for the Big Top Extravaganza. You guys haven't had a chance to go spying yet, but the Big Top Extravaganza is... Well, first you come to the Big Top. Or, yeah, Big Top first. Okay, so the roof of the tent reaches toward the night sky in 3 swooping peaks, topped with spinning golden stars. Painted wooden panels on the front of the tent walls whirl with colorful motion, displaying vibrant circus performances. The sound of music and laughter drifts out through the canvas door. You can enter for free. Inside. Aside from the scheduled events, a variety of entertainers perform here. Colorful orbs of light dance in the lofts of the tent while magic spotlights highlight performers. Spectators watch the acts from rows of tiered wooden seats encircling the ring. A fire-breathing tiefling and his Mephits finishes up their act, the opening act, and then comes the Big Top Extravaganza. The lights dim and a hush falls over the crowd. A second later, a spotlight illuminates a lithe, elven figure sitting in a silver hoop, suspended above the center ring by silk ropes. The elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond-paned mirrors and a pair of butterfly wings. His scepter is topped with a spinning vane. This is Mr. Light. He looks like this. So by the Big Top over here. Mr. Light. So Mr. Light's performing first. He says, "Welcome one and all to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted." The extravaganza involves several of the Carnival's star performers and attractions, with Mr. Light serving as a ringmaster. Burley the Bugbear performs feats of strength. Palasha the Mermaid, she has come back. She serenades the audience from a clamshell bathing pool. Candlefoot the Mime plays silent games with audience members. Fairy dragons with bright streamers tied to their tails perform dazzling acts of synchronized flying as a troupe of acrobats, clowns, and fire breathers parade about. Near the end of the show, Mr. Light asks if any guests would like to perform their own acts for the crowd. Does anyone want to perform? It's a 14 performance check to increase the mood of the carnival by 1.
I would like to.
All right.
I'm gonna play my lute.
All right. Maynard gets
May
up
I-
there, breaks out his loot.
Can I accompany you?
Yeah, Jotaro will accompany you on his pan flute.
Nice.
Excellent.
Portia, what you playing?
I have Talkin, which are kind of like wooden bells.
Wooden bells. Nice. Big Blue, you want to do any performance?
So can they still have a group performance if I cast something on them to make them better?
It's actually best if all 5 of you did individually. It can only be better than a group, right?
Yeah.
Because for a group, you'd have 3 successes, which gave you +3. But if all 5 of you have 5 successes, you could get +5.
And
So
performance
I'll have
is
you all roll
charisma?
individually. Yeah. And lastly, Tiny. Do you want to do any performance, Tiny?
Yeah, I can break out the pan flute and.
What
toot
do I
the flute.
have, though?
Okay. Everyone make a performance check then. You can all roll at once. We'll see how many 14 or graders we get.
Can you center us?
Oh, let's see. Where are you at, Ashley?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know where
lost.
you're at either.
We're underwhelming the crowd here, except for Portia.
Oh, you're at the snail races. Grab you all for the snail races.
Okay. So, but
That's
sorry, I'll be right back. I gotta run to a different part of my house real fast. I'll be right back.
okay. There we go. Okay. Maynard, no. Tiny, no. Portia, yes.
So I will give when he gets back. I will give him Jotaro. I will give him, and I will do the embolden bond between the both of us.
Okay.
So
So-
he can roll it when he gets there.
Okay. Go to yours.
Where is my
You guys are now by the big top.
there? And this is charisma.
Uh-huh.
7
Okay,
plus
I'm back.
1, so I got 8.
8. Okay. Jotaro, you have emboldening bond going now, so you can use that to get an extra D4 on your check.
Oh yeah. Oh, plus I have that extra D4 from
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
that I should have used on my animal handling
Yeah.
to win the race.
Yeah.
That sucks that I just now remembered that. Do I know what the DC is on this, or is it just higher the better?
14.
14.
Okay, so I'm going to use both of my D4s.
We'll use one at a time.
Bond.
Yeah, use one at a time. See if you get there the first one.
Oh, I did not get there on the first one,
All
so
right.
this is my second one.
Okay. You made
There
it.
you go.
But I got there on the second.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, so you got 2 successes. You guys raised the mood of the fair 2 levels up to the highest level the carnival can go.
Okay.
Nice. So as the carnival's wrapping up, Mr. Light whispers to the bugbear, Burley the bugbear. Burley the bugbear looks like this. So that's Mr. Light.
Accurate.
He is not wearing his helmet while he's doing his feats of strength. But Mr. Light stops and talks to Burley the bugbear. And then Burley nods and heads on over to you guys. And when he gets to you, he says... In a growling bugbear voice, he says, "Follow me. Management wants to see you." And with that, we will finish for the night.
Oh.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks for playing the first round. Yeah, your first part of next time we play in a week will be you guys going to meet with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Awesome.
Do we level up after this?
Yeah,
When or do we wait until next one?
you can level up after this one.
Okay.
What's really nice is that there were so many of these places I didn't go to before, so this has been like brand new.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So next time,
Yeah.
I'll you'll have a chance to investigate a little bit more, but there's not like a whole session worth of extra stuff to do. So I'm gonna be throwing in a little bit of
Intrigue.
maybe some conflict, etc. You guys found the statue of Tasha. Pretty interesting.
By the way, I wanted to ask, because I know this as a human person, but I don't know if my character would have any connection. Is there any connection between Zybilna and Baba Yaga that my character would be aware of?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
They just ran out of tropes. All hags must live in walking